Everybody's on their way to see The Magic Christmas Tree. It's a new family motion picture about a talking Christmas tree.
All right, boy, turn the ring and say the magic words.
Rimbum, Carry-Noom, Ho! Hey, how do I know if it's full grown?
Oh, I'm full grown, all right.
Who said that?
Why, I did. You asked a question of me, didn't you?
Trees can't talk.
Well, don't be silly. If trees can't talk, then how can I answer you? Of course I can talk. Now,
And to add to the fun, there's a happy witch. You'll want to see the greedy giant, the runaway lawnmower, and you'll want to see how Santa Claus is captured. See The Magic Christmas Tree.
Last Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, that's the one with Santa as the axe murderer. Well, it's coming back. Dick Shoemaker has that story in our news studio.
Rob, when Silent Night, Deadly Night was first released, many parents were shocked that a movie about a maniacal Santa Claus would be shown at Christmas time. Well, now it's the month of May, and the film's producer is trying again.
It'll play in every part of the country, including backward in some places where it began to play and was pulled.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. The movie that shocked America, outraged Hollywood, and frightened the government.
The new advertising campaign plays up the earlier controversy about the film, when angry parents picketed theaters where it played, and the critics took offense.
And Silent Night, Deadly Night now has the distinction of joining I Spit on Your Grave as one of the two most contemptible films I've seen. And I don't mean to think it's campy. It really is quite awful.
But the producer claims critics had other motives.
Fuck you, Cisco.
They were coming off an enormous amount of publicity on that picture, and I think that they knew that by reviewing that picture on their show, they would get higher rating.
And Ira Richard Barmack produced it. You people have nothing to be proud of, even if you made a few bucks off of all the negative publicity. Your profits truly are blood money.
Shame on you, Siskel, and shame on you, Richard. I don't believe you. I think it was the height of hypocrisy for them to take that attitude. If they genuinely were horrified at the picture, they know very well that the most effective thing they could have done is to not review the picture.
And yet you even see Santa give one little girl a bloody knife as a gift and threaten another little girl with physical punishment as she sits on his lap. You might think that it would be funny, Roger, or it's played as quite sick in the film.
I find it so amazing that if you say a guy gets into a Santa Claus suit and he's driven over the line, that people don't on the face of it see why that's funny.
Silent Night, Deadly Night opens in 93 theaters tomorrow in North and South Carolina and in upstate New York, with plans for a wider release already in the works. Mary.
I'm gonna go see that. Hi, Burp. Here we go, folks. Inflatable boy clams.
You know your blue dress, your favorite one with all the lace and the full skirt? Well, I wore it out the other night. I thought I would surprise you at that party we went to last Friday. So it was real nice to wear and stuff, but I came home and I had started my period, and it was all over the back of it, this big stain. And so I tried to bleach it out because I knew that you liked the dress so much, but I bleached out the dress and it ate away all the fabric in the back, plus all the petticoats. So there's this big hole all around the skirt. I'm sorry.
Well, I came in here the other day and your pink poodle was in here, and I saw the bass plugged in, so I started playing the bass. And then your dog started chewing on the cord, and he started like frying and frizzing, and then I thought it sounded so good that I put the tape recorder on, and he kind of like fried a little bit too much. I'm sorry.
I went into your room the other day to listen to your tapes, and I put on this one tape with you and Alan, and I played it, and I guess your tape recorder was broken or something, and it ate it in half. So I put in another one with you and Winston, and I was listening to that one, and it did the same thing. Then I put on one with you and Bruce, and it ate that one too. And then I put on you and Steven. So all your tapes, all your favorite tapes got eaten. So I don't think you should use your tape recorder, but I'm sorry.
Well, that doesn't matter because I went into your bedroom the other night and your cousin was in there in bed and I thought it was you, so I crawled in. And then I just started feeling around and it felt really good. And then I found out that he sort of likes doing it with me and he says he wants to do it more on a regular basis and see me more than you. I'm kind of sorry about that.
I went to use your car the other day, you know, after you were over with my cousin. I guess I was mad or something. But I took your car down the street, and you haven't seen your car yet, have you? No. Well, I took your car down the street, and I was driving it, and you know how bad I am about accident. Well, I went, and I stopped in the middle of an intersection so I wouldn't get in a wreck. And this car came, and it didn't really damage the body, but it broke all the glass, and all the windows are out. And I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, I saw your drawings here and your layouts, and I just thought I'd kind of fix them up a little bit, make them, you know, a little more cropped. So I kind of like changed them around.
Sorry. Oh my God. Do I love that song so much, folks? We'll go into that in a second. Welcome to the Todd Jaeger Experience. Thank you. I am Todd Quality Jaeger, and over here is... Oh no! Jack, are you there? Oh no! Oh no!
Captain Carter.
Oh, there he is.
Here.
Okay, because we can barely hear you, and you're frozen.
Yeah, Captain Cartoon.
Just Jack. Jack. Oh God. See, that's what's so great about the the internet and stuff. It's just you never know what you're gonna get. And well, thank you, Ward. Thank you. Yeah. That's the other thing. We were off for the previous 2 weeks. Hey, Kay. Hi. Hi, welcome. We were off for the past 2 weeks because people were ill and stuff. And so we're back. And apparently Jack is trying to get himself connected properly. I don't know. Can you hear us, Jack? Okay. No. I can't hear you. I can't. What? Or it as Pee Wee would say, what? What? No. Static. Folks, this is what there you go. Yeah, you're let me turn my volume up a little. Maybe that's a thing because you're very soft in your volume. Are you there now? No.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you are. Okay,
No.
good. Because maybe I just need to turn my volume up because you don't sound very loud. So let's. How does Jack sound, folks? Oh, and so this is Captain Cartoon, by the way, since he was setting himself up. Also, holiday cheer for you. Let's go into that. Hey there. Vahij. I'm proud of that one. Yeah, folks, that was me as Santa Cool. I do Santa Cool every year, especially at work, throughout the show. I guess, Chris, if you have those photos, we'll have some photos to show. But yeah, that is very Lynchian, I guess you would say. That's something I came up with a couple of years ago. And I know, is there a point? Who knows? Ah, there we are. That was me just Wednesday night. We had I'm going to call it a holiday party because listen, folks, between November and January, there's like 25 holidays from different cultures and religions. So I won't just keep saying Christmas, 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 because there's all kinds of holidays. And there I am having fun at our holiday party. Santa Cool, I wear all my new wave buttons. Those are all like 45 years old. You can see the Police and Blondie and the Ramones and Squeeze and Devo and all those. Yes, so that's me as Santa Cool. And yeah, it's something I do every year. Oh, this I am proud of. Yes, I have ornaments in my beard. And on this hat, you can see I have the Romantics and the Banana Splits. All the little each individual Banana Split character. Proud of that. We'll be talking about the Banana Splits movie today. The woman you see there, this is special. Her name is Joyce Bulifant. She is an actress. For those who are of my age and what have you, she was on, let's say, shows like the Mary Tyler Moore Show. She was a regular on Match Game. If you've seen the film Airplane, when the little girl's IV pops out and she's struggling, Joyce is the... Yeah. And that's always funny, isn't it? Joyce is the oblivious mother who's sitting there doing this, not knowing that her daughter is in trouble. Joyce is a sweet, wonderful lady. She always gives me one of these when she sees me, and her stepson is Christopher Perry, son of Roger Perry, an actor from movies like Count Yorga. So yeah, Joyce, mwah! I love Joyce Bulifant. She's just so cool. And there we go. Oh, I'm not Santa Cool in this photo. However, that woman right there is Eileen Dietz. She is the one who did most of the work for Linda Blair in The Exorcist. When you see close-ups, like when the gore is coming out of her mouth and when she's up in like this with the statue behind her, that's all Eileen Dietz. She wasn't allowed to talk about it back then because the people in charge wanted everyone to think Linda Blair. And I love Linda Blair, not knocking Linda Blair, but Eileen did most of the work. Yeah, she just wasn't allowed to say it back then. But you should read her book, Exorcising My Demons. It's a great book. Love Eileen Dietz. She is great. And she's doing a lot of little indie movies these days. I think one of the funniest roles she did was a movie called Assholes, if you've seen that. And that's at the Camelot Theater, where I saw the recent anniversary screening of Xanadu. The Camelot is in the Palm Springs Cultural Center. Yeah. And that was during a Christmas time, too, as you can see the tree in the background. So love Eileen Dietz. She's fun to talk with. Such a cool gal. So love Eileen Dietz. And this one is me at work. This was outside. There was a Santa that came in. And so I had to get a photo with him because we're two Santas together. And I think that's really cool. And that's a giant Triffid behind us. Oh, God. And oh, yes, this is Santa Cool with his infinite whiz bang. Figure that one out, folks. That's all I can say about that photo. So, and in case of those are wondering, what is it you're wearing? You're not wearing Santa pants. that is a kilt. I am of Scottish descent, so I am wearing a kilt, although that is a utila kilt for those who are in the know. To get an actual kilt would cost about $800. There are cheaper ones, but this is what I have, and I'm happy to wear it. It's nice and breezy, folks. Oh, okay. Yes. Mike Caravella, creator of Astral Plane Drifter and the main star. He comes and hangs out once in a while. So yeah, that's me and Mike, and that was taken from last year, actually. So yeah, good deal. And for those who say, Todd, you're not a fat Santa, well, that's the Coca-Cola Santa you're thinking of. That's the image they projected. So if you look at the history of Kris Kringle and even watch the old Rankin Bass stop motion thing, you'll see that, Santa wasn't always fat. So I'm going to stick with that.
Now there's more like a lumberjack in the
yeah. And he wasn't always white haired. He was, well, according to the Rankin Bass one, he was a ginger of basically, like I was more of auburn or ginger, but Santa wasn't always fat. And even in his older age, you don't have to say he's fat. It's like, geez, it's not a law. Okay. And for people who say that's sacrilege, I got news for you. Santa's not in the Bible, folks. And yeah. And well, he's, Christian. Come on. If you knew the history of the actual Christmas trees and stuff too, everything goes back to paganism. So stop it, folks. I'll smack you. So before we get into the Inflatable Boy Clams track we heard earlier, I gotta make a few comments about our thing. Also for the Santa Cool video we just saw, I didn't realize that at the time, if you noticed in the one scene where my legs come down in front of the screen, I've got a Band-Aid on my leg. I didn't remember that was there, but it gives a weirder touch to an already weird video. So I'll just say that. That talking Christmas tree, geez, was that guy an asshole or what? Of course I can talk. Yes, I'm fully grown. What's wrong with you? God, that I wouldn't want to hang around that magic Christmas tree. That guy was he was a bitch. And then the whole Silent Night, Deadly Night thing. It's weird because that was not the first time there was a killer Santa in a movie. There was a TV movie anthology that had a killer Santa in it in the 70s. And Silent Night, Deadly Night, I get, and nobody caused an uproar over that. There were no critics and parents crying to the networks that I'm aware of that was on TV back in the 70s. I mean, I was like a teenager, I think, when that came on TV. And then Silent Night, Deadly Night, it's like Santa's a wholesome bullshit. Santa's basically a character. So, don't go see the movie. As the film guy said, don't see it. Don't review it if you don't like it. You've heard me on here going on about movies that piss me off or something, but I'm not saying don't see it. It's like, I'm going to say it again. The Terrifier films, I couldn't give a shit about those movies, but if you like them and it's helped indie cinema get back into theaters, fine, great, but I'm not going to say don't see it at all. But, that's the thing. So for Silent Night, Deadly Night, though, I don't care for the original because even when I saw it way back when, I wasn't really scared. It was basically any excuse to get Linnea Quigley topless. Quigley. Squigla. Yeah, it was just, let's find another. Okay, 10 minutes have gone by. We need to show her tits again. And nothing against Linnea. She's funny and wonderful. And I just wonder, though, sometimes if they just hired her, not because they thought she was a great actress, but because, well, she's willing to go topless. So let's, hire her. I like to see her do more fun stuff. Like she did the Vice Academy movies too and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess she got topless in that, but I don't know. Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original. I don't know why people cream over it. I don't consider it that much of a classic. Nothing against the filmmaker, honestly. However, there is kind of a remake of someone on my friend list on Facebook said this was film number 6 in the Silent Night, Deadly Night series. I don't see how that is if it's more of kind of a remake, but 2012's Silent Night with Malcolm McDowell, it's actually fun. And yes, there's a gal running around topless, but there was context to the scene. But I got to show you this because here's what's funny about this. This is from Anchor Bay, who's back again, by the way, with a whole new series of original films. I need to get the one with Sean Whalen called Crust. I really want to get that one bad. I when I get more money. So I bought this DVD Blu-ray combo at Best Buy before they stopped selling movies, and it was the only copy they had. I get home, I unwrap it, I open it up, and it's Silent Night's DVD and the Wreck-It Ralph 4K disc. What? Because, for one thing, this is Anchor Bay, and I don't know if Anchor Bay's, whoever distributes Anchor Bay and stuff, somehow is tied to Disney or companies just manufacture. But yeah, this is what I got. And I would have thought that was fine if the Silent Night was a Blu-ray along with Wreck-It Ralph. But this is the DVD. It doesn't even say DVD, but it is. And this is the 4. Yeah. What the fuck? So at least I got the 4K of Wreck-It Ralph. And this was years before I got a 4K player. So I looked this up on eBay. And you can get this for like $11. And I've seen sellers that, or they have theirs open and they've got the correct discs, the Blu-ray and DVD. So, and I like Silent Night enough that I may at one point get another copy so I can have the Blu-ray because that would look better. Yes, I caved. I got a 4K TV finally. Like I said, I'm broke as hell to the end of the month. Thank you. I got a 4K TV, but here's the deal. See, I still have it, an Insignia 43-inch TV, 2K. And Insignia is Best Buy's store brand, but it's made by Hisense. And maybe parts from Samsung or something, but it's basically Hisense. And so that still works, but I was frustrated because I couldn't connect certain things like Bluetooth headphones or anything to it. And I use regular headphones basically and with the TV. So Best Buy had the exact same Insignia TV, 43-inch, but 4K for $129. And okay, this is cut it close, but the sale ends in a couple days, so I went over and got it. So now my 4K player will, do better with the 4K TV. And remember when I was bitching about, I had the 4K of the movie Weapons, and you couldn't see anything in the dark scenes. You just pitch black on the screen with a little movement. I was furious. And people were talking about that one online. All my other 4K discs played fine on the 2K TV. But now, with this 4K TV, I put in the 4K Weapons disc, and sure enough, you can see everything now. So that's yay, yay, yay. So,
hell yeah.
Silent Night. You're not as lucky as I am to get the Wreck-It Ralph disc in it. But, God,
that's a
Silent Night. So the new Silent Night, Deadly Night which is a remake, but in ways vastly different. I have not seen all of it. I only saw bits. And because of, I can go in and do theater checks and stuff. So I would see chunks of it. And from what everyone's telling me, it's really good. I would have to see for myself. It's actually gone already.
Damn.
I think we had it 1 or 2 weeks and then it was gone. At some point I'll see it, but honestly, folks, the original, I think some people latch onto it like it's a classic because it's maybe more nostalgia. And some of the younger folks, it's funny how they'll say, well, I didn't see that movie. I wasn't born yet. Well, Jesus Christ, if you're intelligent, you know that there's streaming and there's physical media. So don't give me the excuse, oh, it was before I was born. Again, I'll smack you. So I think, though, with Silent Night, again, it's one of those jump on the bandwagon things. People tout it as a classic or something, and others feel like, well, I got to say it is too, or feel that it is too. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Don't feel ashamed that you're not part of the crowd that really likes it. Like, I'm not part of the Terrifier crowd. I see on Facebook groups, like for 80s horror or this and that different groups, and they'll post movies that like The Prowler and stuff. And again, I was picky, man. I didn't like eat up every horror movie and love them all. I was picky. Like when I saw The Prowler, I was kind of pissed because again, I was bored with it. I figured out who the killer was right from the beginning. Here's a hint, folks. If someone who's like even a major star leaves the movie after about 5 minutes, not getting killed, like going on a trip or something, that's most likely the killer. And then they turn up again at the end of the movie. Big reveal. I think the biggest one for me that I knew was just wrong was it was Scream 2, actually. I suspected the one character, but it turns out one of the teens that just sort of disappeared before even the first third of the movie. I was like, where'd the one guy go? It was the one black guy. And where's he? Because it kept showing everybody else, but he was just not there for a while. And then, oh, surprise, end of the movie. Yeah, that's a clue, folks. And I may have ruined your childhood by saying, if someone leaves a movie without being killed within the first few minutes, here's another fun little holiday bit for you all.
From the naughty boys and girls that brought you Terrifier 3. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
Santa's scratching if you don't watch out. Don't watch out. Santa's scratching if you don't watch out. Santa's scratching if you don't watch out.
You've made it through Thanksgiving. Now try and survive Christmas. Silent Night. Deadly Night. Starts Friday, December 12th at a theater near you. Check newspapers for showtimes.
Wait a minute. Now, that's not a trailer for the new Silent Night, Deadly Night, is it?
It said made by the people that made Terrifier 3.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, so they made it look more retro. I just woke up a short while ago, folks. So.
It tripped me out too. I was
that is the new one. Okay, because they made it look very, very, very old. Is what the quality of that kind of made it look like it was actually from the early '80s or even the '70s. But yeah, the original Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah, I had a cigarette burn and everything.
If you like the original, that's fine. Like I said, I just was bored with the original, and so the new one might be different. Hey, look who it is, folks. It's
mic check.
No, you sound like a robot.
There we go. All right. And Merry Christmas, season's greetings.
Well, pop in whenever. We can understand you. It's not like you're so.
Right. Well,
but yeah, folks, there's something going on with Chris's mic. So
we'll work on that behind the scenes. So.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you.
I'll be back.
Wait a minute, weren't you growing some facial hair at one point?
Yeah, that was my brother.
Oh, okay.
I have a twin brother. That was it.
Oh.
No, some weeks doing my little. Yeah, I didn't try. It's a little more. Yeah, don't know what he got though.
Hey, well, Merry Christmas, Mr. Roboto.
Is it me, Ward? Is it me? Am I the only one that sounds like that? Okay.
Apparently, you're the only one that sounds like a robot.
All right, hold on.
And now,
all right,
I do. And I echo.
Out to everybody.
Yeah, that's crazy.
See, now it's okay. Nope. Now it's okay. No. I echo. I don't know if everyone hears that, but I hear an echo.
Yeah.
And I sound like a robot. In the echo.
I'll work on it and I'll be back.
Oh, the joys of technology, folks. No, we love having Chris on here, but it gets weird when he's the audio. Anyway, so back to we recap the whole Silent Night, Deadly Night thing. Like I said, I don't like the original. And I know I've said that a million times, but if you like it, fine. Anyway, look, I gotta have fun here, or it crushes your soul. So, what we heard in the beginning was an audio track with vintage footage of a song called "I'm Sorry" by the Inflatable Boy Clams. It's from 1981. Here's the photo of the four gals. I believe they are from San Francisco, or were. I saw this in a record store, independent record store, and I thought, I'm buying this just for this cover, and I don't care what they sound like. So when I played the record, we're going to play the song at some point in the show today, but they have a song called Skeletons. This is a 2-record 7-inch EP set. There's like 2 songs on some of the sides. And here's their little photos on the record. I think that's cool. The flip side of Skeletons is Snowtelex, which is just skeletons played backwards. So, but hilarious. Yeah, listen, if you are familiar with the website Discogs, if you want to purchase anything from Discogs, sellers on that, it's like eBay for records. You have to create an account, which is easy to do, but there are copies of this available on Discogs, maybe on eBay. I don't know, but this is so worth having. If you like avant-garde, bizarre, new wave, experimental music, the Inflatable Boy Clams is a treat. And as you heard from the song "I'm Sorry," which was hysterical, it's something you got to have in your collection. So highly recommend the Inflatable Boy Clams. We'll be playing Skeletons at some point in the show today. And also, as you might all see while I move my glorious beard, I am wearing the Fury on my shirt today. The wonderful, let's see here. I'll show. This is the deluxe 2 CD soundtrack, The Fury. That's the original artwork. This, and the music is by John Williams. Yeah, that John Williams. Of all of John Williams' scores, you know, you have Jaws, Star Wars, Close Encounters, all that stuff. My personal favorite score is The Fury. And if you can, you want to get the deluxe 2-disc Maurice Sarabon set. No, it's not Maurice Sarabon. It's actually La La Land. And this goes for a pretty penny because it's out of print. But if you can get the 2-disc set, it has the original score as it was heard in the movie, as well as the original commercial soundtrack. A lot of people don't realize, especially in the 70s, when soundtrack albums would, like Jaws and all those, would turn up in the store for you to buy, those were re-recorded studio sessions. Like John Williams just went in the studio, re-recorded, lengthened some of the songs, but not all the tracks are there. So you want this, like, oh, this is weird. Let's see what I got going on my other screen. Eden, let me see the butt dial. Let's try something here. Let me see. Is Bill? No. Okay. I think what happened was Bill Whedon was butt dialing me. Let's see here. Bill, let me see here. Let me hit, I'm going to hit this key here and let Bill know that we're doing the show. He should know that. Let's see here. We're on the air. Feel free to join. Oh, that was a butt dial. Okay. All right. No worries. Let's see. No worries. If you feel up to it. Yeah, folks, that was the loverly Bill Whedon, my co-star in Psycho 8-2 and my future co-star with John Dugan in Gonzo Geezer Gorefest. He just butt dialed me. Or as he called it, a booty call. Oh, man. He and Dolores are, where did they say they were? In Vermont or something? And he was just, you know, I'm an important person to Bill if he winds up butt calling me every once in a while. I feel so important, like I'm schmoozing with the stars. So thank you, Bill. He's not watching at the moment, probably, but I let him know that if he, yeah, his butt is at least is. And Bill's welcome to join in if he somehow can today. But anyway, so yeah, the Fury. The funny thing about the Fury is, well, it's Brian De Palma. And you've heard me bitch about Brian De Palma in the past. But The Fury is on my list of all-time favorite movies. I don't care if people think it's his own ripoff of Carrie because, you know, it has a similar kind of theme. But I love The Fury. It's such a cool movie. And here, for example, is the old 20th Century Fox DVD. I wish they just used the original artwork instead of doing stuff like this. I mean, this is kind of interesting, but, you know, it's... So then, this is the Region B Arrow Blu-ray. So this came out, I think, on Blu-ray before the domestic Blu-ray. This is the Arrow video one. It has no booklet in this one, but I got this because I wanted it on Blu-ray and I have an all-region player. And then Twilight Time put out this Blu-ray with the original artwork, but not the same font, which is bizarre because this is better. So, and this one did come with a fun little booklet and an isolated score track as well. So I love this movie, love it, love it. And as far as Brian De Palma is concerned, I do like several Brian De Palmas. I liked Obsession. I like Sisters, The Fury. I can't believe his comedy home movies is not available. The one that he did with his film students and has Keith Gordon and Nancy Allen and Kirk Douglas. So I do like plenty of Brian De Palmas. I just got annoyed with, I love Carrie is actually an amazing movie. I just have issues with that locker room scene because, like, you know, it looked like slow motion softcore, and I just thought that was ridiculous. Chris is back, but he's on mute. Nope, now he's there. Now you still sound like a robot, Chris.
I didn't talk yet, though.
What?
I didn't talk yet. How do you know?
Yeah, you did. You made one little sound and it came out. So, I mean, no, you're welcome to stay, Chris. You just, you know, and we can understand you.
I know.
Yeah,
I really miss you guys.
Oh, well, no, hang around because honestly, we can understand you. It's just our viewers have to remind our viewers that your audio's a little, yeah.
The viewers are more important. Okay. So
I'll
be back.
Let me move my cursor because my cursor was pointing right at your right eye. There we go.
I know. I felt something.
Yeah, it was like right. It was like right here. And I thought that was a coincidence.
I thought that was a hair or something, but.
But no, I mean, we can understand you, and I'm sure the viewers can too. So you're welcome to.
I'm going to
hang
come
out
back. I'm going to come back to talk about when you talk about more your favorite holiday horror movie.
Yeah, and like I said,
this is mine.
Okay. Oh, that's yeah, I gotta. It's
You don't like Eyes Wide Shut?
I do not like Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh my God.
But again, I'm just doing that to be funny because everybody has their own.
There's a reason, though. There has to be a reason with you, so I know it has to be.
Yeah, and believe me, you'll hear it. But again, I know people who like it, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine because it's fascinating to me to hear why people like something that I don't, or vice versa, that I like and they absolutely hate. So
we'll have a discussion about it.
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm going to win.
You might, but listen, I have the robotic advantage of it, so.
Well, domo morigato, Mr. Roboto.
Exactly.
Gets Oh, good times. And I want to remind viewers as well that, and for people, because we have more viewers that watch it later than watch it live, and that's fine. So when we are live though, you can comment in the live chat on the side of the screen. The comments below are for YouTube, but the live chat comments I don't see, because if I click over to YouTube right now, there's like nearly a half a minute delay on YouTube. So by the time I see comments, it's very confusing for me. Also, then I hear myself from like a half a minute. So I stay here on this page, and that's the bourbon. Also, to viewers who don't know, Captain Cartoon's bird loves the camera or something because it's always brushing against the camera and flying around. That's that. But the comment thing, you're welcome to do comments in the live chat. I don't see them until I view things later, like after the show's done and I go back in and look around. But Chris is paying attention. So if you have anything you want to say, or comment, question, do it, and hopefully Chris will see it. And then that's why some of them do a little, what do they call it? A chyron at the bottom of the screen, and put it. Like I said, I just woke up a short while ago. So, yeah, that's how that works. And back to Brian De Palma. So, and I've said this before, but to those who haven't seen it before, seen the past shows, I love Carrie. I actually do. I think it's an amazing film, except for that opening shower room thing. And that's because, think of it this way. If it were a locker room full of guys, usually in films, it's always from the waist up, or they're always wearing towels. Or in the case of the 80s movie Deadly Games, while the gals walk around and shower completely naked, the guys walk around and shower in jock straps. I'm like, what? So the only one that really portrayed it well was like in Frank LaLoggia's Fear No Evil. There was a shower room scene and all the guys were completely naked, full frontal, just like in Carrie. But funny that people and some critics are like, oh my God, why? We didn't need to see that. And what's with the awkward homoeroticism? But, you know, naked gals, no big deal. Nobody says a word, like in Porky's. But when it comes to guys, it's like everybody's like, oh. Okay, guys, here's the deal. If you get uptight about it, you're insecure. And secondly, you desperately want people to realize you're straight. So if you're watching it with an audience or with other friends, and you're watching the screen while all these male nudities going on, you're probably worried that people are thinking you might like this. Nobody's giving a shit about what they're watching the movie. They're not thinking, oh, I wonder if Charles likes this. Nobody's thinking about that. So let the nudity proceed. You know, come on, these days, stop it with just focusing on the women. It's like Slade Wilson, who directed Erotic 2 and did Things and Fallacies and others. I just saw an interview with him where it's same thing with violence against men in movies, especially if it's sexual or something, and women getting like Roger Corman-esque monsters raping women and stuff all the time, and women being assaulted or stuff like that. It's just, okay, that's it. But when it comes to that happening to guys, oh my God, you know, stop it. It's 2020. Well, it's almost 2026 here. You know, calm down, folks. It's yeah. So that's my thing on that. But I do like Brian De Palma stuff, just not so much during the pervy period, with starting with Carrie. And even though the Fury and Home movies came right after Carrie, he then did Dress to Kill, and then he did Blowout, and then he did Body Double, and it was always, like I said, a lot of female exploitation in it, and it just gets a little. So that's my soapbox on that. So, but yes, you will see that I'm proudly. It's funny, the creator of Child's Play, and he was behind the TV series of Child's Play. I saw him on an interview wearing this shirt, and I was like, there's a Fury shirt? I must have it. So I found it. I'm trying to get a good, there we go. So I love that logo. And I read the John Ferris novel after I saw the movie, and the novel was not as thrilling to me as the movie. So there we go. All right. So what should we do here? Are we going to talk about, we can skim over, do we want to do our Willy's Wonderland Banana Splits? And because we also, like I said, got the holiday horrors to talk about. And also I wanted to point out, well, before we do that, I'm going to point out some new recent ones. I don't have to go into it much, because if I did, I would spoil things. I do recommend Bone Lake. Loved Bone Lake. The problem is if you read the synopsis or you watch the trailer, then you know what to expect, and that's not good. So all I will say is couple goes to I want to say Airbnb for the weekend. It's a mansion. It's big. It's by a pond or a lake. Well, lake. And another couple turns up, and that's all I really want to give about the plot, because if you, on the back, it talks about manipulation, blah, blah, blah. Well, then, again, just put this on, let it happen. It's fun. It's violent. It's twisty, turny. Yes. Bone Lake. Like I said, if we did a whole review of this, we'd give away too much. And I tell people, don't watch the trailer. Just put this on. And yes, the title is kind of a double entendre, wink. But equal opportunity nudity, by the way, and nothing really like blah. You know, it's kind of some, like for some of the female nudity, it's kind of almost kind of like in shadow, or like with an arm in the way or something. They're very clever the way they did this, but you'll have to see. This is a delight. Bone Lake also, and this one I remember was a Monday mystery movie where I work, and but then I don't think we got the regular release. Dead of Winter with Emma Thompson. Ooh, intense, lots of fun, and it has some heart. It's not the same movie as Dead of Winter from 1987 with Roddy McDowall and Mary Steenburgen, which I highly recommend, though. Make it a Dead of Winter double feature. But again, if you watch the trailer, unfortunately these days, you know, then you realize, oh, this is coming up because I saw it in the trailer, and you don't want that. So if you like Emma Thompson, she speaks like a Minnesotan in it. Dead of Winter. Now this one, cheesy fun, and it is more humorous. But Justin Long in Coyotes. I will say this. This could be called Bad CGI Coyotes. Because honestly, the coyotes are not very... Yeah. They're not incredibly convincing, but you know what? If you look at the movie as a whole, because there's basically a lot of humor in it, it's fun. I had some fun with this one, and some reviewer I remember said, oh, this is unfair to coyotes because they're not really like that. Well, you could say that about Jaws. You could say that about any of the animal attack movies. It's not very common for a lot of the animals and creatures in those in real life to do that. But, you know, just kick back, have some beverages, and it's fun. I had fun with this one. By the way, again, a Dead of Winter, though, is a vertical, which is a Lionsgate subsidiary. But I've always found, whenever I see a vertical release on the shelf, especially, this is not a Blu-ray, right? Because Walmart only had the DVD. But it's, I always check out the vertical releases because they're usually pretty good. Now, you know, there's some ones in there once in a while, but so far I have all my vertical titles as one section on my shelves. There's just something interesting about it. Sometimes they're horror, sometimes they're comedy, sometimes they're drama, but they're always interesting choices. So, but anyway, yes, Coyotes, if you want some cheesy fun. And then I haven't watched this one yet, but I was very convinced by what I've read. Beast of War, which is another shark movie, but from what I understand, there's a lot of practical effects in this.
Oh, is that the World War II shark movie?
Yes, about the soldiers in a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's from Welgo, USA, which usually they're an interesting label as well, because they put out a lot of Asian films, whether Chinese or Japanese or Korean, and at least they have subtitles, unlike our ITC, not I'm forgetting the name already. Remember all those, the company, all those movies, ITN. I don't mind ITN. I just hate that when they put out foreign films, they only give you an English dub, and that's shit. So, but Welgo does give you the, and again, and it's funny because Walmart sometimes has the Welgo Blu-ray as well as the DVD, but they didn't for this. And right now, folks, I cannot order, a lot of stuff online. It's different if it's in the store. Let's just say, for some of us, like, I'm not very comfortable just throwing my debit card around on the internet. Maybe a regular credit card, but not a debit card. And so I have to get what I can get at Walmart. And if I really, truly love it, I'll order the Blu-ray later. But that's Beast of War. Also, what was the... I guess that was the new ones. But I will say, if you want to treat yourself to some fun, because they just had the complete Kill Bill thing in theaters. You want to go for Plump Fiction. It's with Julie Brown. Just say Julie Brown. Paul Dinello, Pamela Adlon, the guy who does Homer Simpson's voice. And it's got Sandra Bernhardt and Tommy Davidson. All these people are in it. It's incredibly stupid in a good way. I'm a fan of Bob Couer, that is the director. He's done some very funny things and very weird things. Plump Fiction is a delight. It's incredibly stupid fun. And I love that in it, Judy Tenuta is in it. And during her scene, she kept mispronouncing the word fajita as flajita. And it's discussed in the commentary that they said, we just let that go because it was funnier hearing her say flajita than it made the scene funnier. So Plump Fiction. This is a Rhino DVD. I wish they'd restore it and everything, but that's what you get in this cardboard keep case thing. You got to make sure you don't let it get crushed. And then also Lawrence Harvey, who I want to say I know. We don't hang out. Hey there. I guess I'm going to say, I'll say Vahid. That to shorten it. Thank you, from Iran. Wow. We get around, Captain Cartoon, don't we? I keep forgetting that we're worldwide. And honestly, it's noon here, so I'm assuming that it's into the evening, at least 8, 9, 10 p.m. where Vahid is. So that's pretty cool. Like that. We appreciate you tuning in, because a lot of people have the option.
Nagoo hasn't said good morning yet. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have the option of watching the show anytime they want, because it's on YouTube after we're done live. But if you tune in live, we appreciate it because you're getting all of this firsthand. So thank you. Lawrence Harvey, who I say I know, but I've never hung out with him, but we're aware of each other. He's the mad scientist guy in Human Centipede and has been doing stuff with Hex Studios and Laurie Brewster and Amicus. And he's a fun guy. So he is in, there he is right there, Attack of the Adult Babies. I'll pull the disc out so you can see the other cover. Now, this is a Region B disc. I don't think it's available Region A. But if you have an all-region player, or what is it? Is it a PlayStation that will play all regions? Not sure which one. PS4 or play, whatever. But anyway, if you can see Attack of the Adult Babies, in a way, it's kind of Trauma-esque, but not the usual lesbian makeouts and shit jokes. This one, this one is lots of fun. I highly recommend it. This one is a limited edition of 1,000 copies. I got number 286. And then now I was kind of with the ending of this movie, but I caved and I have it. But Together has been released finally. And so I thought, what the hell? I would have that. Now, one more little trio of things here, and then we'll do these. I am such a fan of Jim Hosking. He is behind, if you've watched Adult Swim, his show is Tropical Cocktails, and he uses a lot of regulars, particularly Michael St. Michael's and Sky Elabar, Carl Solomon, and others. The Greasy Strangler is a masterpiece. And it's just, and there's Michael St. Michael's and there's Sky Elabar. The Greasy Strangler. I have a Greasy, it looks like the logo from Grease, but it says Greasy. I was going to show that, but it's way over there.
Oh, you got one of the pink beanies?
Yes.
Nice.
If I could see it, I'd quickly go grab it, but it's the pink hat. I don't call them beanies. To me, a beanie is the little yarmulke-sized hat with a propeller on it. That's a beanie. But I call them ski caps. But out here, everyone calls them beanies. But it's pink, and it says Greasy on it. I'll show it next week. But I got it from Sky Elabar. And the Greasy Strangler is a masterpiece. This one is the Australian all-region 2-disc. It has a lot of extras that the domestic release doesn't have. So the Greasy Strangler, high on my list of recommendations. It's tasteless. Some would say offensive, but I eat it up. And then after that, and they got a lot more stars, like stars, An Evening with Beverly Luff Lynn. As you can see, Keith Robinson, Jermaine Clement, Aubrey Plaza, Matt Berry. For those who watch Krapopolis, he's the voice of the Minotaur type character. And he's also in Toast of London and Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, as well as Man to Man with Dean Lerner. All those actors in those British shows always work together. But when I saw this, Emile Hirsch is in this. A lot of the Jim Hosking regulars are in this. It's not as grotesque as Greasy Strangler, but I recommend An Evening with Beverly Luff Lynn. After he did that, this one, if you're a Jim Hosking fan, you'll love it. If you've never seen a Jim Hosking film, you probably won't love this. But Ebony and Ivory, that's Sky Elabar. And that's Gil Gex, who friend requested me. Thank you, Gil. I feel honored when a star, thank you. When a star friend requests me, then I know I've achieved something. So I'm not very good at friend requesting people. It's not that I'm really shy, and it's not about rejection if they don't accept my friend request, but I just don't send out friend requests. I maybe one or two, but all these film people that I have on my friend list have all friend requested me. And so I'm very honored. Thank you, celebs. But as you can see, mine is autographed by Sky Elabar. Gil Gex, who is the character of Stevie Wonder. And then Sky Elabar, who is Paul McCartney. And it's not an actual biopic on how they created that cheesy 80s song, but it's a very surreal, dialogue-driven, weird. It's weird. But if you go in cold and are not familiar with this style, you're gonna probably hate it. Oh, there's Bourbon.
Yeah,
grabbing at your hair. I love it. Look at that. Oh, whoa. How exclusive. What do we got going on? Here we go. Skeletons. Inflatable boy clowns.
I am a skeleton dancing on the wall. I am a skeleton on your wall, wearing my paper hat. I wear it for you, wearing my pink paper hat, just for you. Shake, rattle, and roll on some distant wall. We're gonna shake, rattle, and roll on some distant wall.
Ah! Yay! Oh my God. Do I love that song so much? That's Skeletons from the Inflatable Boy Clams. Everything about that song, brilliance. I mean, I wear it for you, and the little claps, and then the whatever you call it, just like, and I mean, it's to me, it would be like if skeletons were dancing around and singing. That's what I would envision the song would be like. It's just, and when she laughs at the end, oh my God, everything about this song. And if you love it, then like I said, the flip side of Skeletons is Snowdelex, and it's just basically the song reversed. So like if you have a turntable that has a neutral speed position, you can, when you play backward masking and stuff, or you just play something backwards. That's kind of what they did. They just played the song backwards. So thank you. Oh, thanks, Chris, for playing that. It's Skeletons. And then the other song, I'm Sorry, Inflatable Boy Clams, 1981. And it's on Subterranean Records. You can find copies on the internet, but God, this is like, how old now? Like 45, 44 years old. Brilliant. The other tracks are fun too. Marin and Boys Town are the other tracks on these. I got this for $1.99. That's the price tag. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, so we promised. So for those that have enjoyed Five Nights at Freddy's and the new film, I have not seen the new one. Have you?
I have not. I have not wanted to.
Oh, but okay. Yeah, I was kind of like, the first one was fine. And for those thinking, well, it's not rated R and all that, it doesn't have to be. There are plenty of PG, especially in the 70s, PG rated horror movies that are wonderful, and TV horror movies that I wish somebody would do the smart thing and just get the rights for all the old movie of the week, ABC, CBS, put them in a massive collection. There's like When Michael Calls and The Spell and All the Kind Strangers, all these TV movies that apparently are just not available on disc or anything right now. You don't need all the gore and all the sex and everything to have a really good thriller or horror film. And Five Nights at Freddy's I enjoyed, and some say they wanted gore. Well, fine, go watch Terrifier. But so this one, Willy's Wonderland, Nicolas Cage, you can see the animatronic animals. Rumor, and I can't get a verification, was that this was when Five Nights at Freddy's was still just a video game, I believe. And so somebody wanted to do that, but I guess they want to pay the rights, So like you figure that company, the Asylum, that does all the mockbusters, basically. When a big horror movie comes out or monster movie, then they do their own. Like after bad CGI sharks, then Dustin Ferguson had his bad CGI monsters, and everybody's doing a bad CGI this, and that joke can wear thin though. So, Willy's Wonderland, and I believe this came out. This was 2019? About the same time as this, but I believe this one came out before the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
It was supposed to come out even sooner. It was originally called Wally's Wonderland.
Yes. Okay. Thanks for the reminder. But you know what? Of the two movies, and I know there's a huge loving fan base for Five Nights at Freddy's, and that's fine. I enjoyed the first film. But if you have good suspense and tension and all that thrills, like I said, you don't need to go over the top with the kills and stuff. That's all you're looking for, kills and stuff. Plenty other movies like that, Terrifier. So, but this one, I think was a joy. And Nicolas Cage does not speak a word in this movie. It's all in his eyes and his expression, which is usually like this. But he carries the movie, man. And you can tell, and he's a producer on this film. You can tell he's having the time of his life. Just being Nicolas Cage. Up. You were going to say something? Up. Here we go.
Welcome to Willy's Wonderland. Spend the night cleaning Willy's Wonderland, and I will pay to have your car fixed. Deal? You are officially on staff. Let's get the hell out of here. I can't stand to hear a grown man scream.
This place has a dark history. I know the bullshit story they told you. It's a lie. You're here to be a human sacrifice. Have you been listening to a word I've been saying? He's gonna die in here, but he won't listen to me.
The machines got out. Nobody is safe. Put your balls on, Evan. We're going to Willy's.
She's not trapped in here with them. They're trapped in here with him. It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun. It's your birthday, so let's party. It's birthday time.
I enjoy a man of few words.
Yeah, and I saw that apparently there's a soundtrack. I'd really like to get that soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I'm always.
And you can tell that they put some work into this movie. They weren't just cheap ass, no budget animatronic looking things. There was some passion put into it. It's a lot of fun. You can tell with the it's practical effects. This movie is basically just practical effects, no CGI crap. I mean, I think there might be some, if I'm not mistaken, some CGI blood maybe, but practical effects and everything, and it's so much more enjoyable when you know you're not watching fake cartoon stuff going on. And the only criticism I would have was there's a scene where you got the one thing standing there in the room with the it's one of the last rooms, and the thing is standing there, and Nick and the girl are there, and then throughout the movie his alarm goes off and he has to have one of his energy drinks, and then he wants to play a game of pinball. Well, he hands her the knife and walks away, and I'm thinking she could get killed, but he leaves her to fender for herself so he can go drink a can of that stuff and play some pinball. That was weird. But again, in this universe, in this movie, I guess that's okay and normal. The only other criticism is the cage factor. I like that. Yeah. The thing though that and I kind of got to that point. And again, I'm not going to knock Nicolas Cage. You know, I think you want to be on his good side. But let's just say men of our age, because I'm pretty much around Nicolas Cage's age. When you dye your beard and your hair, the age in your face, it doesn't seem to match up with the dark. It's like when you see someone in their 70s or even 80s and they've dyed everything. It just doesn't look right. Again, for this universe in this film, but I find myself staring at the dark beard because it doesn't. During the pandemic, I used to color my beard not to look younger, but I just liked my original auburn color that I always had. And then during the pandemic, I just thought, why am I doing this? We're all shut in, except for on the internet. And I just let the gray come out. And I still have some, it's not auburn anymore. It's more kind of brownish, but I just let the gray come in and it's fine. And I don't know if maybe for Cage, they thought that make him look too older for the film. But those are my little petty criticisms. And otherwise, the fact that they can do this movie and he doesn't utter a word. And again, I'm not doing any spoilers here because it's widely known. But man, is this one a blast. So basically, he's traveling through this small town and his car, the spikes are on the road and his car gets flats. And basically it's kind of, well, I don't want to go through all the secrets of the movie, but let's just say if he spends the night cleaning up Willy's Wonderland because the owner wants to reopen, the rich guy will pay for getting his car fixed. The thing of those too is for a place like Willy's Wonderland with all those animatronics and advertisements and stuff, if it's a nowhere town and Willy's Wonderland is in the middle of nowhere, I mean, there's no how. It's that again is a question I would have. Why would you have something like that in the middle of nowhere? But okay, still, you set that aside. You let the stuff happen in this movie. It's a blast. It's never boring. It just, and a treat. The sheriff is played by the actress that you will remember her from Donnie Darko going, I sometimes doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion. It's that lady. I'm sorry, the name is escaping me right now, but she is always fun. And it's just, the movie's a joy. It's just a blast. So Willy's Wonderland, it's available on physical media from Screen Media, which is an interesting company as well. They put out some, but the funny thing is whenever there's a Screen Media title, usually Walmart or even Best Buy would just have the DVD. For some reason, if you look up any title on Screen Media on like Amazon or even eBay, they're pricier for some reason. I prefer the Blu-rays, but Screen Media Blu-rays seem to be like way up here in price as compared to the DVDs. So, but this is worth having. This is. So, any of your thoughts on Willy's Wonderland? Because I did all the yakking.
It was the king of the three animatronics that just came out. Because see, I had a bone to pick with Five Nights ever since it was a game. Ever since that first came out.
Okay, because what was your
bone? You
bone?
can enjoy it. I'm not hating you for enjoying the game, but the game itself is you're stuck in a room, literally.
I'm
stuck
hungry,
in a
everybody.
room. There's no really defending yourself or going after to kill the monster itself. Now, Willy's Wonderland and Banana Splits was the anti-version of that. It completely blew Five Nights out of the water. They shouldn't even made a Five Nights movie, as far as I was concerned.
And Chris, if you can cue it up, if you can find it, find the Banana Splits opening credit thing. Because we'll get in, because I would like people to see. Now, for the Banana Splits movie, I was 5 years old when the Banana Splits aired on TV, the TV show from Sid and Marty Krofft, the people behind HR Puffin Stuff, Lidsville, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. And then they later produced variety shows like the Donnie and Marie Show and even the Mandrell Sisters, I think, and stuff. But now, the joke about Banana Splits, HR Puffin Stuff and all that, back in the 60s, man, 60s up to like 1970, 71, there was a lot of drug stuff going on in how, you know, the writers, everything. Come on, HR Puffin Stuff.
One banana, two banana, three banana, four bananas make a bunch of soda, many more. Over hill and highway, the banana buggies go.
So you watch the movie, that's on the Haunted Nightmare.
Yeah.
Making up a mess of fun. Making up a mess of fun. Lots of fun for everyone. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Oh, Hanna-Barbera. But I thought it was Sid and Krofft.
Four banana, three banana, two banana, one. All bananas playing in the bright warm sun.
See, that should be the new ongoing thing. Any Hanna-Barbera, just turn that shit into one. It'll work.
Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. 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 Tra-la-la-la-la-la.
And also the oh, that was it. The opening credits for a lot of the shows from back then, even sitcoms in the 70s, the opening credits were like a minute long, at least, or longer. But okay, that was a Hanna-Barbera. I'm sorry, forgive me. It gets to be all a blur because some of the Hanna-Barbera and the Sid and Marty Krofft stuff just all kind of blended together. And as you can see, back then, the shows were very drug-induced, really. They were very trippy. I mean, HR Puffin Stuff, and you know, talking mushrooms and all the kind of stuff. Oh, and the Bugaloos. Oh my God, the Bugaloos. And I even have the board game for the Bugaloos. The Banana Splits also was cool because it wasn't just their antics, and I loved how in the Banana Splits movie they mentioned the Sour Grapes Bunch, which is a group of teenage girls who do dancing and stuff. But each episode had, I don't know if they had two within each one or one week and the other, but they would have live action cereal. And I don't mean eat cereal, I mean like cereal, continuing stories. Danger Island, remember? Chongo, there's in that. Richard Donner directed those. And we know Richard Donner, big time director later. But it just, the show was weird. It gave you different things, songs, yes. Now, if you ate Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes, not just Frosted Flakes, you know, you had Sugar Smacks. Everything had the word sugar in the title when I was a kid for cereal. But Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes offered with, like, I don't know how many box tops and $1 or $2, these two Banana Splits 7-inch EPs. There are 2 songs on each side. And this one, I remember I was a kid because I couldn't read very well at the time. I was like 5, 6 years old. So I put a little X there's my handwriting, a little X on the cover that had the Tra La La song. So I knew that this was the one when I wanted to hear the theme. But there are 2, 4, 6, I think, 8 songs altogether on these 2 records. And
Nice.
yeah, I love it. Kellogg's Presents. So, and on the back, you get the lyrics. And yeah, it's just this. And you can still find these on either eBay or Discogs. And so I also have the Banana Splits Viewmaster reels. And as you saw in my Santa Cool photo, I had Banana Splits pins. Those were more recent, from the past 10 years or so. You know, you can find those on eBay. And it's amazing on eBay or Etsy, the things for the shows and movies you wouldn't expect, little items or keychains or anything, and they make them. So Banana Splits and the movie itself. Now, I had heard something about there's going to be a Banana Splits horror movie, and I thought, what? No, I thought it was a joke. And here's the trailer for that.
Sweetheart, we
are going to the Banana Splits.
Sometimes at night, I see the Splits riding around in the little cars, laughing and singing.
Who's excited to see the Banana Splits?
Rebecca, I'm canceling the show.
What?
Hey, kids, put on your happiest faces because the Banana Split Show is about to begin.
Where are the children?
Mom, get out of here. Time's almost up. Why are you doing this to me? Let me out! Now the show can go on forever and ever and ever.
Come on, you fussy son of a... I just really want your brother's birthday to be perfect.
We're gonna have so much fun.
What I love is that the voices of the Eagle Beagle, Drooper, and Snork. I think Snork is the elephant. That one doesn't say a word, but the ones that do talk, the voices were spot on to the original Banana Splits voices. I'm really happy they did that instead of just somebody doing a goofy voice. They kept the original tone of the voice. And I kind of wish the original song would have been in the movie somewhere, you know, like, because these were all re-recordings of newer versions of the Tra La La song. And also they kind of changed a little bit of the Tra La La. I was noticing when I was singing along that, yeah, there was a little difference, but you know, again, minor complaint. But yeah, I just, whoever, because there's, if you buy the DVD or Blu-ray, there's some great extras on here on how this, you know, they thought about coming up with this and everything. It's really great watching the extras on this. And it's faithful to the original in many ways, although they don't say in the movie if in the history, because they talk about how the Banana Splits have been around since the 60s. I don't think they mentioned in the movie, for the movie's purpose, if they were guys in suits. And then later changed it to animatronics for some reason. But in the movie, they are animatronic. And basically, as you saw in the trailer, the one guy who became vice president of programming suddenly decides he wants to do things his way. And even though the Banana Splits was still in this movie a popular kids show that even adults love to watch, the guy thought, well, I'm going to get rid of the show because I want to do things my way from now on. And so thus, I think, was it the programmer the guy who works on the
Oh
things
yeah.
that he did, yeah, and he was angry, and so thus the revenge. And again, you know, don't want to do spoilers, but the female producer who goes, "What?" when the guy says, "I'm canceling the show," I kind of felt sorry for her, especially later on, you know, with things that happened. So I was kind of sad about that because she wasn't one of the bad characters. She wasn't, but so that's what happens. You get a few people, a few kids that got VIPs to hang out after the show and meet the banana splits and that. And of course, then they are being chased around the studio. And I like, I think this scene happened after the end credits start. So a little bit into the credits, but that final moment with the one girl, you know, you remember that? How?
Oh yeah.
That was a nice surprise, a nice little turn of events. So do stick around after the credits start at the end, because there's one more quick little scene that kind of makes it go, yeah, that's the icing on the cake. But
yeah, I want to see a world tour.
This one was so much fun, and it could have been just dumb. It could have been, okay, this is not, and they could have, you know, yes, it is the gore is not so much at first, but then they just kind of go gonzo with it. Yeah. But again, it's not all about the gore. There's a total story here, and it's just a blast. And I guess I'm biased too, because I was a huge Banana Splits fan, still am. There's in the late 80s, early 90s, there were a couple techno bands, you know, when Acid House and all these other songs were coming in, rave music, that took the Banana Splits tra-la-la thing and put it in there. And so you can like dance in the rave clubs to the Banana Splits music. But also there is a commercial? It was called Saturday Morning Something, where all these rock bands and stuff did covers of Saturday morning TV shows. And someone did the Banana Splits version on that one too. But it's just, I love this movie. And I was so pleased because of all places, this was when Target was still selling movies. I can't believe Target. I haven't shopped at Target in 5 years. I don't. And there's some political reasons now too, but I don't. But the Blu-ray, I got at Target. And when I saw it on the shelf, I was like, I don't care how much money might not be in my account. I was going to buy this, and I was not disappointed. I was really, because the people who made this movie, they got it. They figured, you know, we got to turn this into something different and make it a horror movie. And they knew what they were doing. They were smart. So Banana Splits movie, highly recommend getting the disc, because on streaming, I don't know if they offer extras on streaming.
Mine they didn't. They just gave me the movie.
Some do, but honestly, physical media is forever. So I highly recommend getting, whether you get well, actually, this is a Blu-ray DVD combo. So I guess this is the only way they released it. Might have been on just DVD, but get the Blu-ray DVD combo. This movie is a blast. And I like, now, like the elephant stuff, I think the elephant looked slightly different than the original, but everybody else is exactly the same. And they, like I said, they put a lot of care into the costuming and the sets. They really went out on the sets for this one. And just a delight. And as far as both of these are rated R, mainly for the violence. Willy's Wonderland does have an amount of F-bombs, but it's not every other word. This one just has some, I'd say a little more than the PG maybe, but some PG-13 cussing. I don't think there's any F-bombs in this one. I can't recall.
Both of them are tame as far as
yeah,
like,
the
gore and
language is pretty much tame in this one, and because there's a lot of kids involved in this one, it's still pretty horrific. I mean, when the kids have to watch the one guy with the spinning wheel, and they're like, obviously they were just reacting to what they were told to react to, but and this one doesn't shy away from, you know, involving the kids in the violence and stuff, and it's just wonderful. So any added thoughts on this one?
No, it was great. I saw it day one. I heard about it like one day, and the next day I was like, yeah, I'm watching it.
I really wish that I could have seen this on a theater screen. It's but honestly, I'm just so when people would come see I remember when we got the first Five Nights, I would say, when you get home, you'll look for these. And this is what I was doing with the new Five Nights, as I've not seen the new Five Nights. I don't know. Maybe if I stumble across it, because I have some ad-based streaming channels through my Spectrum. And usually with some of these movies, it's an ad or two before the movie, and then they just show the whole movie.
Yeah.
They don't break it up like on Tubi. But maybe if I find it there later, because that's how I saw Annabelle 2. And plus, apparently, they only released the theatrical PG-13 on DVD and Blu-ray, but the unrated Megan 2 is on streaming. And I had it for free on what network? Was it Peacock? So I have the ad base of that. Yeah, and so that's how I saw that. Because even if I liked it, I wouldn't have bought just the theatrical cut, you know, since they offer the better version unrated. But anyway, you can see these two movies, Willy's Wonderland, Banana Splits movie. I believe Willy's Wonderland, these are both, I think, 2019, if I'm correct, because the print's too small.
I think that Banana Splits came out in March, and then Willy's Wonderland came out towards the end.
Yeah.
Maybe the middle.
I gotta say, dear to my heart, I'm favoring Banana Splits movie, but each one is so great on its own that you can't say, well, definitely this forever. No, they're both a blast. If you can forgive some of the questions.
No,
like
even when I reviewed all three of them, I was like, look.
Yeah. These.
Go Parsons, the director of Willy's Wonderland, won't really answer any questions about stuff. He'll tell you like, hey, this is like what's going on, but he won't dive into because
there
how
are
he got named Cage.
Well, there is there's basically behind the scenes stuff, fun, you know, but it's more like with the cast and crew. And the demonatrons, as they call it. But there's nothing much about, you know, history or stuff like they do with this one. Because on the Banana Splits one, they talk about how, well, we wanted to do this and as fans of the show and blah, blah, blah. So there's reasons why and history. But for Willy's Wonderland, it's more about the production stuff and the behind the scenes, nothing much about the concept and everything. So, but
He's a great guy, though.
Yeah, it's can't recommend these enough, guys. You want both of these and physical media ones if you can, because these are worth having on your shelf so you can go, ooh, and they're too much fun.
There's a Willy's Wonderland video game too.
No, I'm not a video gamer, but that sounds like fun. Probably in a way a little like Five Nights, but probably more cool.
Well, it's more arcade style. You go in and you whoop up everything.
Oh, wow. Well, see, I'd like to watch somebody play it because I had the old original Nintendo. And it frustrated me. It stressed me out. Because
see,
back
I don't
then,
like platformers either.
I think for games like Maniac Mansion and I think Castlevania, you could pause. You had to press a thing on the console and something else to save where you're at. But all the other games, you just had to play them straight through. And ones like I had Mega Man 2 and Super Mario 2 and stuff. And I was like, I could never get past the second level on any of those. And I would be like, oh, fuck. And I thought, geez, if there's like 8 or 9 levels and I was like this in level 1, no, it was bad for my heart. So I said no. And then you had like the Friday the 13th game. Oh, there we go. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, it does look very old-fashioned arcade. It's pretty cool. The thing up in the corner there. Wow. That is nifty. Yeah, I'd like to. I wonder what was that available to? What kind of system?
I know it was on the Xbox, I think the Switch, and the PlayStation.
Oh, and the Switch.
I think it's on Steam too. It might be on Steam.
Oh, that is so cool. I honestly was not aware of that. So that is pretty cool. And you know that you've got something special with a movie if they're actually going to do an entire design a whole game.
Oh, yeah.
For it. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I really and I tell people watch Willy's Wonderland and the Banana Splits movie as a double feature. Because if you're familiar with Five Nights, I'd say watch Willy's Wonderland first. Otherwise, if you haven't done Five Nights, and there are people who haven't, you can start with Banana Splits movie because they're different. They're kind of in a similar universe, but they are different. And I'm sorry, folks, if I keep doing this and you see that in my lenses. I'll try to turn my head. There we go. But also, I wanted to mention, as far as other new releases, there is now a 4K Blu-ray combo of Dogma.
Nice.
I have the old DVD that came in the case that it looked like a old-fashioned book, like a Bible or something. And then I saw it when it was on the screen recently for the anniversary. And I don't know how many extras on here are actually new extras. But, you know, Dogma is a great movie. It's just too much fun. So I recommend that. Also, a 4K Blu-ray combo, Shout Factory, which, by the way, what's going on with Shout Factory? Apparently, some other company is taking them over or something. Yeah, there's this whole to-do about it. But for now, Steelbook 4K Blu-ray of The Howling. And I sometimes don't like it when the artwork is completely... I love the original artwork usually, but this is kind of cool. Again, my only issue with The Howling, again, I guess because in the 80s they were doing this all the time, that porno roughie they were showing in that booth while Dee Wallace is getting attacked in the beginning. It was like, you're distracted because it's a very misogynistic roughie, as they call it. But otherwise, no, The Howling. Pino Donaggio's score. Love me some Pino Donaggio. Tourist Trap is my favorite of his. And yes, I even have the soundtracks to Blow Out and Dress to Kill because I love Pino Donaggio's music. I may not care for the movie so much, but if it's Pino Donaggio's name on it, like Piranha, that's a great score. And Don't Look Now. And yes, he did Carrie. So the other one, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Criterion. It's a 4K Blu-ray combo. And I'm going to say this, Criterion. I didn't pay $49.99 for this, okay? I wouldn't. But if you're going to want to try to charge people nearly $50, there's some new extras on the Blu-ray, not the 4K. You know, some interviews, a few deleted scenes. But come on, for $49.99, no slipcover. I expect a thick slipcover like Vinegar Syndrome or Terror Vision would do. I think Severin's now getting into the thicker slipcovers. But yeah, just this and it comes with a open instead of an actual booklet, you have to keep opening this open. And so I think, I don't know. I heard people saying that this pre-order sold out on Amazon.
I don't doubt it.
But I didn't think it would be like that. So what I did is there's a Barnes & Noble just about a mile down the road from me. And I called them up because I knew it was being released on the 16th. But I forgot. And on the next day or something, I called Barnes & Noble and I said, do you have a copy of the 4K Blu-ray of Pee-wee? And they said, let us check. And they said, yes, we have one copy. I was like, oh my God, put it on hold. I'll be down there in 20 minutes. And I'm glad I did. And their price was $34.99. And I'm going to say, yeah, okay. Because usually when there's like a half off sale, this would have been about $25. But if you can get it, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The cover's fine. It's Criterion. Sometimes their covers, I don't know. But
they could have at least gave you a Pee-wee poster. I mean,
yeah, it's this stuff. It's like storyboard drawings, or I don't know what. These don't even look like storyboards. They're too fancy. No, it's not storyboards. It's just you keep opening it up into a big long accordion style thing with all these drawings on the one side, and then it's an essay on the inside. And I'm sorry, I kind of would have rather had the book, a little booklet instead of, because the other one I'm going to get to as far as newer recent. I had this on the Criterion DVD, but unfortunately that one was not anamorphic. The early Criterion DVDs were non-anamorphic. So if you put them on a widescreen TV now, it's letterboxed within the 1:3:1 thing. How to Get Ahead in Advertising. And this one, Richard E. Grant. This Richard E. Grant and the director did With Nail and I, if you're familiar with that bizarre movie. And it's from Handmade Films, which is George Harrison of the Beatles, his film company. I think he did like Life of Brian and a few others. But this movie is so bizarre and so, I want to say art house, but it's got fun special effects and it's just bizarre and very British, and says a lot about corporate advertising and capitalism and all that. But this one is a poster of the cover, but on the flip side, you have to open it all the way up to a full-size poster to read the essay. And wow. I'm sorry, that much really tiny print covering an entire poster on one side, it's not very practical. So I love that there's a poster, but they should have had a separate book with the essays. And like I said, I got this one when they had their 50% off sale recently. So this was really, really well priced. But come on, Criterion, for being of excellence and all this kind of stuff, you're paying a lot for, you want the extra bells and whistles. I'm sorry, that I do when it comes to that kind of a price. So I guess Mike is not going to be available. Bill messaged me. Hang on. Bill actually messaged the group. Oh, it's always good to know. Thanks so much. Haley Todd. Let's see here. I'm going to give that one a little heart. Yeah. Bill says, did you check out that final image in this? Okay. I didn't. I'm going to. Okay. Oh, and Johnny Logan is not going to be able to turn up because he's at work. Okay. Oh, now.
He's a very busy guy.
Yeah, he is. I don't know how he does it all. But now, Astral Plane Drifter. And a reminder to those who maybe are new viewers or something, this is a movie by Mike Caravella. He's a friend of mine. He's the main star. I have 2 roles in this movie. It recently won 6 more awards. 5 of them. Yeah. 5 of them at one festival by itself. So that makes a total of 18 awards, 8 of them Best Feature awards.
Nice.
And it's up for another one that very soon. And then at the Frida Cinema in Los Angeles, I think it's January 31st, they're having an awards thing at the theater, and Astral Plane Drifter is up for an award in that one, I think in their WTF category. So, yeah, I'm really proud of Mike. I'm proud of this movie, and my 2 roles are very brief. However, my second role, the wise one, is talked about constantly throughout the movie. So Mike sort of reminded me, he says, but your character is really important because it's always talked about. So when I appear, it's special. But here's what you do, folks. And you probably don't have a clear view of that barcode. But anyway, you can go to astralplanedrifter.com. There's a trailer, other items of interest. And a little ways down, there's a merchandise section where you can get T-shirts, hats, stickers, all that. However, and there's a few still available, he did a limited run of 250 green rays. They're Blu-rays. And $29.99 including shipping. But go there. You can still get a copy. They are hand-numbered and autographed by Mike Caravella. And if you ever see me in person, I'll autograph yours. But, yeah, they're going fast. So go to astralplanedrifter.com, merchandise section, get yourself a copy of the Blu-ray. He'll release another Blu-ray sometime in the future with some more extras on it, possibly like commentary. But the current Blu-ray has the original short film that the movie is based on that won 35 festival awards. It has a teaser trailer, a regular trailer, and it comes with a sticker as well. So get your copy, Astral Plane Drifter. Hopefully we'll get Mike on again soon so we can amp it up and get more people to see it. And other than that, so before we get into the holiday horrors, I figured I would do a little treat here. So besides these Banana Splits records, I had a few on hand because I was transferring some to CD. I was very proud that I picked this up back when it was released, but I think this was from the 1970s. Jeff Lynne of Electric Light Orchestra, whom I regret not seeing I regret not going to their. He did a farewell tour, and he was here, literally a few miles away from me in Palm Desert. The ELO tour, and I can't believe I just couldn't afford it, really. But anyway, this single is from the 70s. This is Doing That Crazy Thing, and backed with Going Down to Rio. And I like British 45s because they got the small hole in the middle. The reason like American 45s have the big hole in the middle is because like I was told for purposes of jukeboxes. But I like the small hole because then you don't have to try to put an adapter and all that on your turntable. But there's that. Of course, I've showed this before, but if you can find this, and I think there are copies on Discogs, you have to have Holly, Beth Vincent, and Joey Ramone. I Got You, Babe. The Sonny and Cher song. Every time this was put up on YouTube, it would get pulled. And it was on Virgin Records, but Yeah, this is so. And again, I bought this when it first came out. I remember buying it at Street Side Records on Delmar in St. Louis.
That was probably Cher herself out there pressing the annoy button again.
No, I think she would approve of this. Although, God, she was on Saturday Night Live last night as the singer. I had to check it out.
Holy shit.
And yeah. No, I mean, she did fine, although her microphone was not on well enough, so her voice wasn't projected as loudly as it should have been. And then for the first song she sang, her voice was that auto-tune crap. And I'm thinking, oh no, this whole song better not be an auto-tune. Because I fucking hate auto-tune. Stop it. Because she did that I believe her love song, and that I couldn't stand it. It was like, just do it regular voice. There's Chris. Speaking of weird voices.
Speaking of auto-tune, right?
Hey, you may need to put your things in because I hear myself echoing with the robot. Oh, he's gone. I don't mean to scare him and push him away, but see, when he doesn't have those earbuds in, I can hear myself in a delay and it sounds like a robot. And when he has the earbuds in, I sound fine, but he sounds like a robot. So one day we'll get that figured out. I thought this would be funny as well because Miko, who was big in the 70s for doing disco renditions of, you know, Star Wars music, and even did Wizard of Oz. But this was his disco version of the Close Encounters theme. John Williams did his own little disco version that came as a single with the soundtrack LP. I don't think I have that one, but I did pick up Miko's disco version of the Close Encounters theme. And it's so goofy because at the end, instead of sampling the little boy going goodbye, goodbye, they have some other kid's voice, and it sounds really terrible. So, all right, you guys, I'm dating myself. Look up the year for these songs if you don't know. The Carpenters. Sing a song.
That looks like a Newport ad.
Drusilla Penny. Again, see, there's the big hole in the middle for the domestic. A&M Records. This one actually is in good condition. It may crackle a little because back then my parents had a basic turntable and, you know, records would get crackly. But look at that. And this cover is in good condition. I need to put there's a website called Bags Unlimited. You can get all kinds of. Chris is a skin job. Thank you, Ward. I thought so. You were right. And also, and I love the cover for this. Here it is. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation. Yeah, Carpenter's Top of the World with Heather. This song, Heather, was used in Geritol commercials. Geritol was like a supplement for older people. Yeah, they use the song Heather. You know, yeah. But Top of the World, I think that's so mod. That's so like late 60s, This was 1973 actually. Whereas Sing a Song, I don't have the year on that except for maybe on the record itself. 19. Isn't that funny? There's no year given on the 45. But then I have one more from Todd's record collection. Let me get it out of the box. We showed this on our show 3 weeks ago, but I highly recommend people getting this. And we played the actual original song, but John Waters through Sub Pop Records. Go to the Sub Pop website. Happy birthday, Jesus! But it's John Waters doing the song instead of Little Cindy. This is the actual old photo of little Cindy's body that they put John Waters' head on it. And on the flip side, it's a Pig Latin visit. That's, I guess, John Waters on, but it's on red vinyl. And there are 2 other John Waters singles available on the Sub Pop website. The record's like $12, $2 more for shipping. And you'd think, God, for a 45 with one song, come on, these are specialty things these days, so they're going to be a little, they got to get the money. I understand that. So, happy birthday, Jesus! John Waters covers Little Cindy. So, highly recommend folks getting that if you can. And so, how about we do our holiday horrors? Now, Chris wanted to join in on that. I guess, Chris, though, you'll have to wear your earbuds, so you're still going to sound like a robot, but
do I sound like a robot?
Yeah, you do. We can understand you. So just the viewers understand that there's some kind of technical thing he has to figure out that one day.
Yeah.
So for today, he's going to sound like Mr. Robot.
Next year.
Next year. Yeah, like, oh, wait a minute. That's just a few days away, folks. So anyone would like to start? I mean, I bogart everything, and I feel bad, but my name is on the show.
Listen, just tell me, let's just go right into why you don't like Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay. Well, there are several things. Some guy on Facebook just kind of like, it's more than that. And then he goes into these philosophical reasons. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what people will say just because he's Kubrick and stuff like that. So, to me, it was an over-glorified Skinamax movie in the manner that, and I'm sure everybody knows what Eyes Wide Shut is about. So, to me, all this brouhaha about a guy trying to sneak into a mansion that rich people, hang on a second. Yeah. Mustache hair, folks. Yeah. So this guy wants to get into this. There's something going on in this mansion and it's all secret. I got to find out what it is. So he gets in and it's just rich people having sex with hookers. That's basically it. And it's so cool. They wear their robes and shit. But
yeah, I think it's more about the symbolism.
Yeah, okay.
Go
ahead.
He's what happens after, he got into this, club he wasn't supposed to be in. And it's a club, I think, portrayed to be, of a higher level of, a higher level of the elite, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, the shadow government, whoever, people behind the scenes,
But they're not doing weird covert things in the mansion. They're just fucking hookers.
Not yet. Not yet, though. You see, it was in the middle of it. So maybe they were going to do some kind of, like the girl who's ended up sacrificing herself for Tom Cruise, for when they did realize he wasn't there. And I think like the woman part of it, it was, even that with Kubrick, I think was symbolism of when the women are perfect and they're looked at as, these
well, let's face it, rich guys, no matter what they look like, they could look like Jabba the Hutt. They still demand that they got to have perfect women.
They're going to have the perfect, right.
Like Howard Stern used to do on his show, and he'd have a panel of dumpy-looking guys judging whether women were good enough to be in Playboy or not. I'm like,
right. Because I don't think Kubrick is the kind of guy to just use, like
I know, but
Skinamax.
when you strip the movie down, pun intended,
mm-hmm.
It's him trying to sneak in, and they're having sex with hookers, and then of course you have the story of him and his relationship with Nicole Kidman and all the drama in that. And I thought it was funny because he was like, I don't know, he was like jealous of her at the party in the beginning, like, oh, who are you talking to? But then here he was flirting away with these other women at the same party. I'm like, you hypocrite, you.
Right. But that's part of the plot.
That's part of it, yes. But then there would be those images where he'd like get all uptight because all he could think about was her with that sailor. So he had his own Skinamax, blue hue of her going, oh, with the sailor. And I'm like, I was laughing my ass off because I just thought it was so ridiculous. And then there's those moments when she's in front of the mirror, topless, going, looking at herself in the mirror. And I'm like, okay. And that was all for the fact, look, Nicole Kidman's naked. She's been naked in plenty of other movies, but there were.
We wanted that in Batman Forever.
Not that I would. Well, she was in Dead Calm. She was naked in a wonderful movie called Strangerland, an Australian film that's amazing. But the thing is, they have her. Okay, everybody, here's my tits. Look at me. But then, not that I would want to see it, but you never saw Tom Cruise doing anything like that, unless it was like commenting, well, women are more. Into.
Well, he was about to. That girl, if that girl didn't save him, he was about to take his clothes off. So.
But I mean, they didn't have him standing in front of. They didn't have him standing in front of me. We were going, look at me.
All right.
No, I mean, and some could say I'm being petty and joking and stuff, but
maybe that's
honestly.
Maybe that's in the 20 minutes that was supposedly.
No,
removed. Maybe Tom Cruise is naked the whole time.
Oh, I don't care about seeing him naked. I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't. But the other thing is, I was pissed that what we saw in the United States, although I heard they were screening it recently uncensored, they CGI'd people in so when you see in the one scene, you can tell two people are having sex on a coffee table or something. You just see the head and the feet. And they CGI'd people in front of them, so
Shadows.
You didn't see. Yeah, and I was like,
and it wasn't. In this new Criterion, which everyone went crazy for a little while, with Over the Green, and then it was sold out for a little bit, but the 4K and the transfer, and there's all debate about it, but. To me, this is the international version.
That's the one that you're hoping to see. Yeah,
that's right. Since the DVD had the shadows, and now they show it. But it really, I don't know why they made such a big deal, because even with the
apparently, it's the motion. I remember they used, because I saw that movie. This film is not yet rated, an IFC release that talked about censorship in movies. And apparently there was a rule at one point that you could have no more than 2 or 3 thrusts. And if there were more, it had to be cut. And that kind of bullshit stuff. Now, if you watch R-rated sex movies, they're like, bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
And it's so that's why I think they need to start going back to older films and putting the footage back in the way they should be. But the other issue I had was Alan Cummings' character, the concierge at the hotel or something. He was such a stereotype. Yeah. He was very he was like oogling Tom Cruise.
You know what he almost reminded me of? He almost reminded me of Pee Wee Herman in the hotel scene.
No, I was you beat me to it. He reminded me of paging Mr. Herman, Mr. Pee Wee Herman.
He reminded me of. He even kind of resembled him a little bit.
But although Pee Wee's bellhop was not flamboyant. And so I was kind of like, oh shit, another flaming gay stereotype. And of
Right.
course, they had him looking at Tom Cruise like, yeah, I want you. And I
But
just
maybe
thought,
his behavior, maybe he was acting a little, maybe that was intense. He was acting,
Alan Cummings is Alan Cummings, okay?
Right.
And he was great. Wait, wasn't that? No, it wasn't Alan Cummings. And I'm thinking with Paul Rudd in Ideal Home. That was not Alan Cummings. But it's just that the one gay character in the movie has to be a stereotype.
Has to be,
you know?
extremely good.
And I remember, I won't mention the filmmaker's name. He recently talked about Eyes Wide Shut on Facebook and said how, and having Alan Cummings and da-da-da. I'm like, it didn't matter. All I saw was this flaming queen. You know, it's just, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that stereotype. And I'm not saying Alan Cummings had to butch it up completely or anything, because it's just, God damn it. You know, again, it just, to me, again, for the straight male viewers and stuff, feeling safe, like that's gay men right there. So I don't feel threatened. They're just, you know, that way. And I just, and then the big thing, all this controversy, all this brouhaha over a movie that took, what was it, 2.5 years at least to make?
Yeah.
For
That's
that,
Kubrick, you know.
I know, but for that, honestly,
there's a lot
if
of hype.
people
they hype the hell out of it.
You know, I don't know if there's any truth to, you know, the studio supposedly removed something, and, you know, there's a lot of conspiracy around the movie. But, I mean, overall, the reason I liked it, I thought it gave a good glimpse into maybe this, you know, people who really are controlling things, and maybe he got into a party that maybe he shouldn't have, and maybe there was something going to happen, and that's why they got so mad that he was there, and then I liked how they used their head game too. Like, I liked the side story of the jealousy and the.
I say, if you want a secret elite society thing, for me, I like Short Night of Glass Dolls better for that.
Okay.
The you know, the elite, you know, going to control.
Oh yeah.
And
well,
all
I'm
that.
talking about it because because here we are at Christmas, and you know, I know there's other Christmas horror movies, you know, but
right in our political climate, our political climate right now is getting scary like that, where you got the billionaire few,
right,
the few that taking over, trying to control and take over everything. This whole, I will say, like, it scares me with this whole Warner Brothers thing, because if Netflix got Warner Brothers, then would we ever see any Warner Brothers titles on physical media ever again, or anywhere, because Netflix would have it all. And then if Paramount got it, it would be scary, because Jared Kushner and the Saudis are invested in that. So either way, we are fucked as far as Warner Brothers content. Speaking of Warner Brothers content,
they already cut ties with Mortal Kombat 1. Assholes.
This is a Warner Brothers. Pee-wee Big Adventure and stuff. Warner Brothers. Would we lose all of that, or relegated only to one format? It's a scary thought, but also because, like I said, the Kushner thing, and it's like, it's
politics are too we're entrenched in everything.
Yeah, it's getting, and when you have something political like that taking over entertainment,
it trickles down immediately.
Now, I will, you know, give people their views on Eyes Wide Shut and its merit. For me, and you know, the symbolism and the meanings and all of that. It's just, for me, after all the hype, you know, I sat down and watched it. And yes, I saw the R-rated, you know, version on DVD or something. And I just kind of was like, that's it? Now, I love very complex, deep movies. You know, I'm like like one time you guys are going to have to watch like The Reflecting Skin with Viggo Mortensen. See if you guys can see that one. I love mysterious, deep movies that have meanings and this and that. But for me, Eyes Wide Shut was just a guy who was wigged out of his mind because he was worried his wife's having sex with a sailor. And then I got to get into this mansion. It's rich guys having sex with hookers. And I'm just like, oh, and that's it. So, yeah. So, I mean, I'll give you your views and you're not wrong or anything. I'm just saying that's what I saw.
Right.
That's what I saw. And I was like, fuck, so no, but if you're enjoying your deluxe edition and it makes you happy and that's what counts.
And especially around Christmas. So
you're just wrong. No,
I'm just wrong. And it goes with I'm in the Christmas spirit here. So
what are those poppers?
I wish.
Oh, folks, that's the funny thing too. How poppers have slipped into the heterosexual world, because and all that. Because I remember when I first started going out to the bars. I think the whole movie is about a certain level of powerlessness, both in personal relationships and broader power structures. And no matter how you feel about the movie, the transfer is gorgeous. Oh, that's fine. No, I perfectly can understand that's what the film's about and everything. I'm just saying, even if I was like, ooh, this is interesting, deeper meaning. On the surface, I just saw guys having sex with hookers.
Yeah.
But you guys are not wrong. You find different meanings and everything.
Speaking of transfer, Todd, do you prefer film grain, heavy grain, or do you prefer a cleaner look to the movies remastered?
I grew up with the grain, and older prints on the screen, just seeing grain, and honestly, a little distracting to me.
Okay.
I don't mind some grain. I prefer it a little cleaner if it can be, but not to the point where I forgot what they call that process.
Yeah.
But then because they cleaned up they cleaned up the grain so much that it does something to the image that doesn't make it look right. I think I've seen some transfers of like 80s horror films that were not bigger releases and were shot on but even Arrow Video, was it The Initiation or something? Speaking of gratuitous shower scenes, but it was like some of the movie looked fine, and then other scenes, particularly darker ones, just looked staticky and great because of the grain was so heavy.
Yeah.
And
almost like a VHS of like that.
I find heavy grain distracting, but if they can kind of lessen the grain, because I know sometimes you can't really entirely get rid of it without making the picture look odd. Right. I don't mind grain. It kind of reminds me of
controversy with this Eyes Wide Shut release.
But heavy grain is like it's like visual Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
Snap, crackle, pop. It just no. And honestly, guys, you can have your eyes wide shut, and I understand these other meanings and interpretations. It just didn't. All I saw was having sex with hookers, and he's crazy jealous, and all this, and I just kind of like, okay, I didn't get much out of it. And but like 2001, I remember even as a kid watching that, especially every time it was aired on network TV. The only thing that unless you're in a theater and unless you're on drugs or something, that whole color sequence that just goes on and on and on and on is too much for me. It's just, I get antsy. I want it to hurry up and finish that bit. But otherwise, and I've read some really interesting articles on what the whole end of the movie means, and it's fascinating. And I really like 2001. Then his other movies like Barry Lyndon and stuff are interesting and visually interesting. But I just thought that after all the really amazing stuff I've seen him do in the past, then he comes up with, to me, that just basically looked like a glorified Skinamax movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of like coming down a bit.
Yeah, and there was a lot of hype going into that.
And I know that this show is forever now going to be on the internet. So everything I've said is like, well, it's there, Todd. You said it. It's forever. But honestly, I'm not going to back down from it. You
nothing that we
buy the movie if you love it, watch it, enjoy it. Just don't invite me over to watch it with you, because
Well, we'll invite you over for another movie, and then we'll sneak that on.
So do you have another? You guys mention, because I've got a few here. So mention what are. And unless you have anything more to say about Eyes Wide Shut.
No, I like that, it's not my favorite holiday horror movie, but I just brought it up because it's Christmas and it is kind of a scary horror, it's kind of some shit can happen.
I like the other actor, I'm sorry, was it Todd Fields? The guy who plays his friend who gets him into the mansion.
Right.
I like him.
I forgot his name in the movie.
He's directed some rather interesting movies, and I liked him as an actor and stuff I saw long before he did Eyes Wide Shut. I was always kind of a Todd Fields fan.
Yeah, he was good.
So there's a positive.
That's a positive. I'm going to hold you to that. So you did like the movie. Right?
I like Todd Fields. I liked him in anything he does.
Now, holiday horror, I guess, like if you really want to say, horror, official horror movie, but like Bill mentioned earlier, Black Christmas, the original Black Christmas. It's hard to beat that ending, that everything about it. It's a brutal movie. It's
hard to call it
everything.
It's hard to call it a giallo because you know who the killer is, and so it's a slasher. But I recently saw, this is another reason why I don't just join Facebook groups willy-nilly, because there are different horror fan groups on Facebook, millions of them. But one of them was posting about, the Black Christmas remake is so amazing and so good. And I'm like, what? It gets me. Some people, I don't know, maybe they saw something I didn't, but I thought the remake was worthless, even though they got Andrea Martin to appear in it. But to me, it's like remake of My Bloody Valentine, remake of Friday the 13th. Why? There's just...
Well, if they do it right, I mean, if it's done right, then you could say, here's why, but it's not.
There are some remakes that are worth, pretty cool. Like, what the fuck happened to it? But the one, this one. I thought this was fun. It really kept me interested.
Right, if it's done right.
So this is a remake done right. Now, the new Silent Night, Deadly Night, like I said, I didn't bother with it, even though people said, you'd like it. And it's not the same as the original. Well, okay, but...
it looks kind of like the original.
Well, probably... I was heard, though, no topless Linnea Quigley through the whole thing.
Maybe after the credits, maybe there's more of a...
I don't know. But, no, the Black Christmas... They should have left it alone. Thank God. I'm not religious. Thank Goddess that there was no sequel to either film.
Nowadays, that's right. You usually get a trilogy nowadays, no matter what the movie does.
Or a prequel. Or then a spin-off.
Right.
You know, they're doing...
Maybe that trend is kind of ending.
Yeah, it's like I didn't even bother with Black Phone 2 because from the bits I saw and everything and what friends have said, yes, he did. The Black Phone 2 is just trying to start another Freddy, basically. But yeah, the original Black Christmas. Oh, which, by the way, damn it. Oh, yeah, me too. The remake. I should have worn my Black Christmas T-shirt.
Next week.
I do have a Black Christmas T-shirt. It's really cool. The original artwork. But today I was in a fury mode. So
whatever mode you're in, I'm in a robe. So
Black Christmas. I remember. Well, that was 1974. So I was 11 years old. So
that was the year I was born.
My parents wouldn't let me see R-rated movies that young. I couldn't see The Exorcist until several years later when I saw it at a midnight show. The only way I would see R-rated movies was Channel 11, KPLR TV in St. Louis, the independent station, would sometimes run movies with commercial breaks after 10:30 at night, like they showed Looking for Mr. Goodbar. That one I touted that I love, Hammersmith is out, the remake of The Big Sleep. Those all had like F-bombs, even full frontal nudity, and yet because I think they were trying to if they got in trouble, they would claim, well, it's after a certain time at night, even though still is on regular broadcast TV. But that's how I got to see some of the R-rated movies. But yeah, Black Christmas, I heard about it. Even as a kid, I was like, ooh, that sounds scary. But I couldn't see it until later. And then in the 70s, it was harder to see movies like those if you missed them the first time, unless they turned up in a midnight show, a drive-in as a third feature, or at a repertory theater, like the Tivoli was in St. Louis. You never knew if you were going to get to see that movie ever again. And then, of course, VHS came about. So, but Black Christmas.
Once you missed, it wasn't like today with cable and media. If you missed something, that was it.
Well, I didn't have Black Christmas in my stack here because I figured it would be talked about, right? So I didn't need to show the cover. I do have 2 different DVD versions that have different extras. There was a couple different companies that released it. And then I have the Shout Factory. I think I have a Shout Factory Steelbook, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
But I do really like Black Christmas. And someone say, all those F-bombs and stuff. There was a purpose for all that. I mean, the one Margot Kidder was foul-mouthed. She was fun. The killer was, of course, gross in his language. But
listen, I don't think there's been a caller ever again like that.
No. I just the movie. Everything had its place in the movie, and it was a good one. And you can't. It's really. Honestly, if you go back, it's hard to beat a lot of 1970s stuff, especially the TV movies, the movies of the week. They had to try harder and be more creative with their limitations because they couldn't outright cuss a lot or anything or be very graphic. Except Duel, the Steven Spielberg one, did have words like something about get off my ass or something and stuff like that. That was language you never really heard on TV. But TV movies were more creative, and the TV horror movies especially were really wild. So even movies theatrical in the 70s, it's just kind of hard to beat. And maybe they're dated because rotary phones and no cell phones and only limited TV channels.
There's nothing you can do.
No, it's I love the 70s, man. Great time. I'm glad I grew up when I did, because we had all the great rock bands and I got to see them come together, stadium performances. Just life was interesting, man. And yes, disco. I loved disco. So screw that.
Well, I grew up. I was probably about 4 or 5, and my mother, in about 77, 78, I was 3, 4, you know.
Oh my God.
My mother loved disco, so that's probably all. It was either disco or Frank Sinatra. So
the people who hated disco were really, talk about toxic masculinity and stuff, were insecure men and stuff. Because here's the deal. Disco was started in the queer community. And so it was queer community performing and doing and playing disco music in the clubs. And of course, then you had the female singers and stuff, and also the Black community. So that's where it started. And of course, some guys and stuff were insecure about that. And also because disco was popularized, it just pissed off a lot of people who felt that rock should be the thing. And then, of course, when they had that big, what was that big anti-disco thing in that stadium during a game, which turned into 99% of the records that people brought to be destroyed were not disco records. They were Black artists.
Oh.
So it was a racist thing mainly. And so that whole
disco sucks,
disco
right?
sucks thing was totally wrong, because like I said, looked at a lot of the records that were being destroyed. They weren't disco. They were R&B and stuff. And so, look how that thing went. It turned into a riot, and it was a mess. So, but disco, what I like about disco, not only because it's usually happy, a lot of percussion. You really heard the percussion, and a lot of strings, a lot of orchestra strings.
Right.
And if you listen,
it's a unique sound, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you live in a world where everything else is starting to sound exactly the same. You know, it was.
And you listen, if you, like, for instance, focused on the percussion while you listen to a song, it was amazing what you heard. And then if you focused on, say, the string arrangements, like, wow, they put a lot of work into these songs.
Oh, yeah.
And disco never died, because after the whole hoopla and it sort of died, disco still continued on. There were a lot of, here's the thing too. Pink Floyd did disco. Another brick in the wall was a disco song.
The Stones did disco.
Alan Parsons, I Wouldn't Want to Be Like You, on their I, Robot album. That was a disco song. And then even Electric Light Orchestra I don't know if you knew this, but I don't know if Jeff Lynne intended it, but they're saying that their Discovery album, if you separate the words, disco vary. Because there was
He's like that, Jeff Lynne. He's very creative like that.
Oh, God. Jeff Lynne is like the most genius. I know people say Bob Dylan and all this, but Jeff Lynne, to me, is he's the genius. And then, of course,
if you want to chose him. That's why the Beatles chose him to produce the Free as a Bird and those new songs. That's Jeff Lynne doing that production.
And so, yeah, Jeff Lynne. And then those who know about this, but the other singer that I think, and a lot of people say was the genius basically in the 80s, and he's still performing, was Nick Kershaw. He's famous for that song, Wouldn't It Be Good? But if you look at his writing style, there are people on YouTube, you look it up, analyzing Nick Kershaw songs. There's one guy in particular where he'll show you the musical notes, everything, and he'll tell you how complex and unusual Nick Kershaw's music is. So yeah, but disco, like I said, disco still exists. If you listen to a lot of songs, you can hear that and stuff. It's disco. People just don't want to call it that. So wow, I love that tangent. That was cool. Oh my God. Okay, well, that was 1981. You can see that. Honestly, look in the background. That's a Motel's album cover.
That's great.
Yeah, and those were not my glasses. That was a roommate's. Two of my roommates smoked, so they gave me a cigarette. I never smoked, and that hair. I had short hair at the time, and I won't say why. It's embarrassing, and we just gelled it up, or whatever, and we just taking funny photos. Yeah, look at that shirt. I forget the name of that brand, but that was a hip line of clothing back then. Ugh. I'm wearing my wonderful cock ring bracelet.
Oh, wow.
Yes, folks, that is a cock ring. Leather. That one had 5 snaps. They call it a 5-speed because it had 5 snaps on it. But I like to wear them as bracelets, and it's funny because I worked with a lesbian at Borders, and she was like, "How do you stick guys there with a Flowbees?" Oh my God! Thank you, Flowbees. Oh my God! Anybody who spent money on those and thought they would work. Oh my God! But but I worked with a lesbian at Borders, and she says, "I love your bracelet." I said, "You know what this is?" And she goes,
Yeah.
"I still want one." So I went to
You should have said, "Here, take mine."
I went to a leather shop no, because you don't know if I wore that properly or not. But no, I went to a leather shop in Palm Springs and bought her one, and that was fun. We and a bunch of us went to Hollywood and walked around Hollywood and stuff, and we're wearing our cock ring bracelets. It was great. But
she doesn't know you put that one on too first.
Oh my God. So yeah, folks, if you want, here. So they're about $10 to $15. When I bought them, they were like $7. But
is that it?
Yeah. This one has 5 no. Over the years, even if you use Lexol or to clean and soften the leather over the years, they still dry out over the years. This is the last one I bought, and already because of the sweat, you can see the metal is turning color, because I wear this on my wrist everywhere. And this one here has 7 snaps, but this one is so dry and old it's cracked. And I actually had a Band-Aid on this just because the crack was rubbing on my skin. I know, folks, when the details and stuff that you normally would never know.
Right. And visions in your brain right now, right?
I still have this one. I just hadn't had the heart to throw it away for some reason, because I can still wear it. But as far as the actual way you're supposed to wear these, there's, I don't know. I don't manscape, so ouch. And and also just there are safer. Oh, fuck. Are you guys there?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought I completely eradicated my whole screen, went back to the normal. Here's the one. Boy, folks are around the world. Are you getting an education today?
Every show.
Those are okay. Well, the chrome rings are not practical in the way that, let's just say you're done having your fun. They're kind of hard to take off. If you know what I mean? And also they can damage stuff. So that one too, the same way, depending on how tight. God, I can't believe I'm talking about this. Tight you're wearing them, they can do a little damage.
But that's
this
a good
one is
thing, right? Because if it just falls right off, what is that?
This is from a company called My Hardware, WEAR. This is a different kind, and this is much safer, proven to be safer medically. This is like a horseshoe. Here you got this dent because some guys will know what I'm talking about. A little pressure applied to a certain, so that's why that. Now what this is is you put this around everything, and then you put this clip, depending on how tight, you put this clip across like that. You see?
No way.
And then there is, I didn't take it off, but this extra little thing here, you have to clip over the ends of this to keep everything on. And someone say, geez, Todd, that's 3 pieces. That's too much work. But this is safer for you. So, guys who want to get into the realm of more interesting sensations.
Todd is the Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of... Oh, okay. Thank you. So I never in my life imagined that we'd be talking about these on this show, but honestly, it's nothing that YouTube could kick you off for. So
no, this is,
we're good. So yeah, and to others,
I'm not familiar with the extra piece one. I know about the silicone.
Yeah, no, yeah, this one I found by accident. And like I said, it's from a company
give Jack the
called
link before the end of the show where to get that.
My Hardware.
And a 50% off coupon.
Right. Mention the Todd Jaeger experience. No, My Hardware, and hardware is not spelled the way you think. It's W-E-A-R. But here's the thing. I haven't looked at the site in a long time. The last time I ordered from them, because these, if you're not careful, these are made of, I don't know, like pewter or something. You don't want to pull on these or bend them. You be very careful, because if you keep trying to bend these, this will crack and will break. And this piece alone is like $20 by itself, depending on your site. And their website has a way to measure yourself so you get the right size. Because the first time I ordered one of these, it was too large. And they don't take returns. So you got, and this right now, something like this could cost you nearly $50.
All right. You better get it right.
You gotta call Gary. Be like, Gary, is this too big?
Be careful that you don't keep trying to bend these. I slipped this on very carefully so that I'm not bending this, because like I said, that will crack and you'll be pissed off. And then you have to wait for a new one. And you don't want to lose these because, you don't want to lose them. And so that's why I always put this like right there so I don't lose it. But the website, I haven't looked at the website in several years, and the website is noisy. It's just stuff. There's just stuff everywhere. Instead of just having things organized so that you can navigate, it's really, really crazy. And I've told them, your site's nuts. It's just too, but if you can figure out the measurement, I can't really remember what this one was called, the size, but yeah, if you can manage to do it, these are very practical. Like I said, this kind of thing, or the chrome rings, this one you can take off real easy if you need to, but the chrome stuff, yikes. Yeah, it's, wow. I feel so free that I've been able to, but the funny thing I was going to mention earlier too, is with the whole ring thing, it used to be only in the gay community. That was it. But then I noticed, I even saw in like one of these straight porn videos called Real People, REEL, where they would take an average schmo and pair them up with a porn star and for their own fantasy. And there was a guy who was very much into these. Well, not this kind, but the chrome rings and stuff. And I was like, wow. So then just like piercings, especially nipple piercings and stuff, that was all relegated to the gay community, especially in the 70s. And then it all kind of started coming over into the straight community, and especially the whole piercing thing, because, straight people didn't do that. The nipples, wherever else on the body, none of that until I'd say into the late 80s, early 90s is when it exploded into everything else. So, some of those people out there who are a bit homophobic and stuff, a lot of the stuff you do and a lot of the stuff you wear and stuff all came from the gay community. So, but yeah. Oh, that was fun. Like I said, I love these tangents. You guys make it so fun, and just being free to talk about stuff like this is just.
We can talk about anything, Todd.
It's all permanent, and even all around the world in other countries, people are going, "Wow, cock rings."
Yeah, cock rings to Jell-O.
Oh, good times. Now, hey, so Captain Cartoon, I'm sure you have one you'd love to mention, or a few. Feel free to just...
the Ginger Dead Man with Gary Busey.
Really?
That's a great one.
I didn't think
Yeah.
of that as a holiday movie. It's just I have that first one. I have the first one because a friend of mine.
That's the only
Brett,
one I really like is the first one. I mean, the second two were okay, but they kind of go downhill.
To me, that's kind of a novelty joke kind of thing. And so when you keep doing the same thing, it gets a little, yeah. But my friend Brett, who used to write for DVD Verdict when that existed online, and I got to be friends with him, he sent me that as a present.
Oh,
so
well, there you go.
I do have it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna start making a list of holiday horrors that I have, and I'm gonna have to include that one. I totally forgot about that one. Wow. Thanks for reminding me. See, this is why we do this. And so let's see here. I will just grab what's on top of my stack here. It's funny because I think it was either Gordrome or Tetro Video that in Europe released this recently. I got this through Scream Team. 13 Slays Till Xmas. It's an anthology, 13 stories. Got great reviews. It's fun. And believe it or not, I'm not sure if it was because I had a code. Oh, by the way, you open it up. I always got the editions that were autographed by everybody, the cast and crew.
Nice.
I haven't bought from Scream Team in a while because I just can't afford. It used to be like I would buy Scream Team, I buy Severin, I would think. Now I can't do that anymore. It's impossible. So, but I got this and it came with I think it came with a code because I then was able to download the soundtrack. So I have the soundtrack to this on CD that I transferred to CD. 13 Slays Till Christmas, and I'll throw in another one. Now, I can't remember if this was set during Thanksgiving or Christmas because the title would refer more to Christmas. And this is a bootleg. It's on one of those, it's in one of those like 50 movie packs as well, and it's always oh no. But look, it's got a red case. Home for the Holidays. This one has Julie Harris. It has Sally Field.
Wow.
This is from 1972. It was a TV movie about some sisters who come home for the holidays because their dad is dying, and their stepmother, they're very suspicious of her because the dad thinks that maybe the stepmother is poisoning him. And yeah, there's a pitchfork scene in it. It's a lot of drama, but there's
scene in a TV movie. You know,
yeah,
that's an extra bonus.
Yeah, and it's some people say, well, there's more dialogue, there's more drama, but back then things were more dialogue driven. But there is suspense. It's fun. Home for the Holidays. It's in, like I said, I wish I would have set the box set aside because I have it over there, one of those like 50 movie packs, and it's in there, whether it's Mill Creek or one of those other companies. This I wanted to have as its own separate thing. So there is a website where you can get a lot of movies like this, and they're usually Well, this was a 1-3-3-1 anyway. It was a TV movie.
Right.
But but you're never going to find it in a nice widescreen. But it's sad because a lot of TV movies have been released, like Warner Archives and stuff released, like Don't Be Afraid of the Dark and the Dying Room Only. Oh,
she is slowly poisoning me to death.
A bedridden man summons his 4 daughters home to save his life.
If for some evil reason I'm ever accused by anyone of killing, I will not be the one who wakes up screaming.
Sally Field, Walter Brennan, Jessica Walter, Julie Harris, Eleanor Parker. Home for the Holidays, Saturday nights, Owl Theater at 11 on.
It's great.
Wow, you are quick, Chris. That's amazing. And it's funny, though, too, because you'd think they'd have a narrator that would be like, 4 sisters, da-da-da. But he's like, 4 sisters, like a rom-com.
Yeah.
It's just, it's...
They didn't know how to do it then, right? They
didn't.
announced it like it was the
Like it
Brady
was an
Bunch,
episode of Mary Tyler Moore or something.
I know!
4 sisters murdered her father on this film.
Oh, this wacky holiday get-together. But no, Home for the Holidays, if you can catch it, it's really cool. Maybe some of the younger folk who are more used to the fast edit, you know, stabby thrill and stuff will find it like too dialogue driven, but honestly, I loved it. I remember when this aired, oh my God, next day on the playground, you know, like after we saw Killdozer when that was first aired on TV, or Gargoyles, or Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, stuff like that. Horror at 37,000 feet. That's one we're going to have to review. It's available. And I think it was it Warner Archives? But I have a whole section of TV movies on my shelf. I'll have to remember what label released it. But Horror at 37,000 feet is a primo TV horror. We'll have to review that one. But stuff like this, it just, you cannot beat this. It's amazing.
The nostalgia, too, adds so much to it.
I'll do another one. All right. Well, this is the next one on top of the list. Anna and the Apocalypse. This is a Scottish holiday zombie musical. And if you can, you want to get the extended cut because it has one more song, which is an excellent song, and more footage. Now, I don't know if they have the extended cut on streaming. However, this Blu-ray, 2-disc Blu-ray from Second Sight, and don't be confused. Now, you can't see it because it's blurry, but it says Region B, which is Europe. If you have a regular player, Region B won't play on it unless you have an all-region player. However, that's a mistake. This is an all-region Blu-ray set.
Yeah.
So if you find this on eBay with this cover, and it says 2 discs, Second Sight, that's the company, and it says Region B, it's not. It's all region. You must have this. This is the kind of movie I love to watch often. And you can find some of the musical numbers on YouTube. It's not Glee meets Shaun of the Dead. I love the songs in this movie. They are great songs. They're memorable. And I hated Glee. It's not High School Musical. No, I'm sorry. There's no high school that can break out into song and sound studio quality. It's just not possible. But Anna and the Apocalypse is such a great movie. It's rated R. So you got your gore. You got some F-bombs. It's Scottish. You know, over in Scotland, they don't say twat, though. But that's
a shame.
I have recommended this, and I recommend this to people all the time, customers, and they're just like, how did I not know about this? And it's now become one of their annual Christmas movies, although this you can watch any time of year because it's that good. Anna and the Apocalypse. So what else you guys got? Don't tell me just Eyes Wide Shut and Black Christmas.
Cat.
Well, there's also
Jack
Slate.
Frost is a good one.
Oh yeah, Jack Frost, the first one. So cheesy, but lovable. Now, one that I didn't have here also was Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg, the wrestler. What does everyone think about Christmas Evil? Ward, you jumped the gun. Now, its original title is You Better Watch Out. For that title, because Christmas Evil to me is too
cliche.
The first DVD release from Synapse, and it says original never before seen director's cut, but I think that doesn't mean that's an extra. I think this is the director's cut. But I bought this when Synapse, when you can find movies by Synapse in Best Buy and Walmart and stuff, Target even. I remember finding Severin titles at Target way back when.
That's crazy.
Synapse. And then Vinegar Syndrome put it out. And now if you look for the one with this, you can still get this like this for like $27 on Amazon. Although Christmas Evil is no longer on the Vinegar Syndrome site because all the copies are gone, so they're not reproducing it. But I have the slipcover, the sturdy slipcover. And if you bought this, even used on eBay, it's going to be about $60 or more for this. And I bought this $24.99 or something when it was first available. This is a DVD Blu-ray combo. Now Vinegar Syndrome does Blu-ray only or 4K and Blu-ray. They don't do the DVDs anymore. Yes, it's Evil.
That was a great release. That's I like that. It seems like, again, the 70s, the earlier ones.
Well, it was made in the 70s. This was released in 1980, so this is the 70s.
It's 70s, early 80s, but after that, to me, they kind of lost it. Like the newer ones are fun, but they're not as they're not as well thought out, and that's like Christmas Evil and Black Christmas are so dark, but they're well made. They're
too slick. Now, I'm saying Siskel and Ebert were pompous asses too in many ways because they were Silent Night, Deadly Night. No, that's terrible and shouldn't be. And like they're film people, and yet they're saying some films shouldn't be made. That's ridiculous. And then that was what 1983 for Silent Night, Deadly Night. Well, this one was 1980.
Right. So what was that?
There was no uproar. Yeah. So that's what I mean. It depends on when you give some people news coverage, or like, look what I'm still furious at what Siskel and Ebert did to Bill Lustig over Maniac. They like outright published his phone number or something. Call him up and tell him how much you hate this. That's very MAGA, basically. But this movie, I'm not saying this should have caused an uproar. It shouldn't. But Christmas Evil is the early one. And honestly, not that I always believe, because I think John Waters gets things wrong sometimes. And I'll go into that later one day. But this is his favorite Christmas movie. It says on the back, the greatest Christmas movie ever made, John Waters. Yeah.
There you go.
And by the way, he has a commentary on this with the filmmaker. John Waters has a commentary on this. So Christmas Evil, thank you, Ward. Yes, I was going to bring that one up, but thank you for mentioning it. Definitely Christmas Evil. Let's see here. This one, and I am so pissed because I don't like driving up to Los Angeles. It can take an hour and a half to 2 hours, and the traffic once you get near LA is insane. But the New Beverly, I think it was the New Beverly, screened this just like a week ago. And the Adam Marcus, the filmmaker who did Jason, he also directed one of the Jason.
Oh yeah, Go to Hell. Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah. But Secret Santa from 2018, Christmas Dinner Gone Bad. I will say there's something in the punch because some people miss that in the movie. But it unleashes total carnage. And unlike other movies, especially teen movies, where every character is an asshole and you hate them and you just want them dead, everyone is loathsome in this movie in their own way, but you don't mind because the way the movie goes, this movie is manic. It's like on crack. And
it's making me think of another movie that I don't remember if it was around a holiday, but there was a bunch of people at a house for a dinner.
And there are several movies like that. Honestly,
and something happens to where some person leaves, but they go into a different version of the house of the people, and then they don't come back. It's like a whole crazy thing in this.
There's also one called Silent Night that was more recent about a family gathering. There's await further instructions. I should have pulled that one. I know Dark Sky released it, where family come for the holidays and then they're trapped in the house. They cannot get out.
A lot of weird ones like that. Yeah.
But there's another one where people were affected in some way. God damn it, I can't remember the title of that. If I Google the info, it'll AI what it is. But
I don't even know if it was a holiday movie, but it just made me think of that being people in the house.
This one is definitely it's over the top, it's insane, it's manic, it's very frenzied through the whole movie. There's incredible, the violence is just nonstop. But and also once the credits start, wait about a minute because there's one more scene. But oh my God, this one is a blast. I know that it got a lot of great reviews because it's just incredible. It's unique. And and the fact that I think it was the New Beverly showed it about a week ago. Nice. I was so pissed because I was like, I want to go see that, but I couldn't find anyone available to go with me or drive because I was not gonna, the gas, the the mileage, we're talking about what, about a 300-mile round trip and stuff. This would have been worth it. Because friends of mine and I years ago drove all the way up to LA just to see Rare Exports. But Secret Santa, oh my God, people. And also, if you go to Adam Marcus's, Google it, he has a website. And it's basically all for this movie. You can get posters. You can get this autographed by everybody, but that's like $50. I could only afford to get the movie Blu-ray at the time. And you can buy this on eBay or Amazon, but if you go to Adam Marcus's website for this film, there's autographed stuff and goodies and everything. But yeah, Secret Santa, I can watch this thing over and over. And it's very funny too. So Secret Santa. I got a couple more, but do you guys have any others that you recommend?
Christmas, Bloody Christmas was good. Since we're talking about animatronics, the one with the robot Santa, that shit was great.
Yeah, Christmas, Bloody Christmas. I can't really recommend Better Watch Out. It's kind of almost a Home Alone thing because everybody was a bit. I didn't like them, and I was getting annoyed with their behavior. So I didn't care for that one. And then, Christmas, isn't Christmas Bloody? Yeah. Now, Christmas Bloody Christmas, the second half, yes. But the first half of the movie, no. It's, 45 minutes of, and I was talking about dialogue earlier, but like, for instance, that big, long, extended talk about sex that just went on.
That was totally for the...
You're like, boy, time's a waste in here. You're talking these graphic talks about sex. I was like, okay, no. Just the whole first half of the movie, at least, is to me, skip it. Get to the part where the Santa goes on a rampage. That's a blast. I can't recommend the movie, though, completely because of that first half. It's just bad. Everybody, I have several friends who I waited for their opinion, and when they said, "Oh God, the first half, Jesus Christ," and that talk about that sex talk, it was like you were like listening in on somebody at the table next to you at Denny's. And they were just talking about all this, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Right.
So Christmas Bloody Christmas only for the second half. Otherwise, if people say recommend it in general, I would have to say no. But all the others so far, except for I want to chat. No. But yeah, there. Oh God, now that you mentioned, there. Besides Christmas Bloody Christmas, you better watch out. No, not you better watch out. Better watch out. Can't really recommend that one, but await further instructions. I do highly recommend that to people, and I did show Rare Exports. This is from Finland. You'll hear some English dialogue in the beginning, but otherwise it's all in Finnish. The dad from the 2 Sitsu movies. Oh, well, he's the dad in this movie. And here's the fun thing. The Santa's helper, the army of Santa's helpers are all naked. They're mostly older men, beards and stuff. And there is a shower room scene, and it's a lot of full frontal nudity, and they're running through the snow naked. But you know what? It all seems to fit. I mean, they're Santa's helpers and, Krampus and all this. So there was rumors that Spielberg was interested in either producing or something, an American version of Rare Exports. Thankfully, that did not happen because he would have turned it into a PG-13. And of course, Santa's helpers would be running through the snow in elf costumes or something. This is not a kiddie movie. I'm glad that they, there's kids in this movie, but it's adult minded, right. And even if you say, well, the nudity would mean it's not for kids. The nudity is nothing sexualized. It's nothing, for you to oogle at. And you say, well, it's old men mostly, so I wouldn't anyway. But no, it all seems right. And not just because it's naked men. There are no women in this movie. You don't know where the wives are, or it's focusing on the sons and their dads, basically. But Rare Exports, this one is a classic. Like I said, me and 2 friends drove all the way up, I remember, to the Laemmle 5, which is no longer there, I think, in Los Angeles, just to see this. And it was worth the trip. Also, too, because they drove. I just
always better.
I'll throw in, speaking of foreign films, this is actually 3615 Code Père Noël, known in English as Dial Code Santa Claus, or in English also, for some reason, Deadly Games Dial Code Santa Claus, but it is Dial Code Santa Claus. This is Vinegar Syndrome's rendition of the cover. It very much Home Alone with a primitive Santa. Yeah. But you know what? 1989.
Right. Yeah. It's an 80s, yeah.
Right around the time of Home Alone, basically, in a way. But this one, because of the violence, you would consider this kind of an R-rated if it was rated. But it's a blast. Believe it or not, I even have the soundtrack on vinyl.
Very cool.
I have one last one that I had handy here. Dead End.
Yeah, I forgot.
Ray
that was a
Wise.
Christmas- Yeah, that's a good one.
Ray Wise is in it. Lynn Shay. You could say this is like an extended Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
There's no hearse in the movie. It's a family taking a shortcut to visit relatives for the holidays. And let's just say this road is weird and never ending. And it's just bizarre. It's dead end. A little anecdote. I used to have movie night. One guy who was a manager of mine at Borders, we would pick Wednesday night for movie nights at his apartment, but he had a roommate. And his roommate would post it on MySpace. Hey, everybody, movie night. You know who would show up? A bunch of fucking underage teenagers, like high schoolers. And I was like, I am not comfortable with this because I was the oldest guy in the room. You know, I was a good 12 years, 15 years older than my manager friend and his roommate. And all these idiots would show up because they're thinking, hey, booze and drugs. And I didn't know who, and they didn't want to sit and watch the movie. There were like 5 or 6 of us. Yeah, I know. That's what I was worried about. There were about 5 or 6 of us that kind of knew my friend and his roommate that would sit and want to watch the movie. But all these kids and the idiot roommate, there were 2 bedrooms. You had a bedroom on each side, a kitchen, and a living room. So each bedroom had its own bathroom. And the roommate would let these people he didn't know hang out in his bedroom to play on his computer.
Oh my God.
It's like in movies, like especially like 16 Candles, where the parents are away, let's have a party, and kids are going all over the house. You know they're gonna steal shit and destroy shit. But that I was like, I can't believe, and I told the guys, I can't believe you're letting them. Well, they don't want to watch the movie, and at least they're in the. I'm like, oh my God, you're an idiot. And then one time a guy wearing a cowboy hat, the door was open to the roommate's thing, and they were noisy in there. And the guy was dealing drugs with somebody right there. And I just had it. And I said, shut the goddamn door. And the guy in the cowboy hat, he comes stomping over towards me. Ooh, better. He's in. And I was like, I shot up from my chair and the chair fell backwards. I had no plan. I was just angry at the moment. And I just stood up. And the guy that was dealing with him in the hallway had this look on his face and walked up to the guy and took his arm and said, because I was just standing there. My manager friend said, the look on your face was pure murder and you look scary. What's this? What do we got here? Ah! You are quick.
How was that? Did he show you his knife?
Davis is there.
Of course, folks, that's from Cruising. Did you see that one, the American Horror Story that took place during the AIDS thing? They recreated that scene. That exact scene was recreated for American Horror Story.
That's great. Yeah, that's a good scene.
Oh my God, I'm glad you thought it. You're quick because I just stood up and stood there, and I didn't know. Because there was one other incident at Borders between a manager and me where I just stood there looking at my manager, and the other employee said, Todd, if I had a camera, your face was just like murder. And so apparently I scared them. And but then what happened with Dead End, what I'm getting to this is we were watching Dead End one night, and there was this one guy who was the kind that he wants everybody to know he's straight. Because whenever in a movie 2 guys so much as hugged each other, he'd be like, oh, no, he'd be doing this and he'd be vocalizing. Of course, 2 women, silence, but 2 guys, even shaking hands, he was like, oh. And one day I had it with him. I just out loud said, would you just stop? Okay, we get it. You want us to know you're straight. But the more you protest like this, the bigger the closet case you look. And he just like, and everyone else was kind of like, you know, but I put him in his place and he, of course, shut the fuck up. But for this movie, he kept saying, since this movie mostly takes place in a car, they should have used this. If I was the director, I would have shot from here. I would have done a shot from under the steering wheel. I would have done. I'm like, okay, just shut up. All right, let us watch the movie. Then, of course, about halfway through the movie, he goes, well, you know, he blew the ending.
Oh, my God.
And I said, did you have to do that? Why can't you just let us watch the movie? Keep it to yourself. And I was like, and I turned to my friend and said, you know what? I'm done. Either he doesn't come back here anymore, or you can have movie night on your own. I'm not doing this. Because I was the one that always brought the movies. They wanted me to select the movie. And I told him, I'm done with you. You know, that was the guy who wanted us to know he's straight. And he, of course, he was an aspiring filmmaker. And he, of course, had to ruin everything for us. And even if you suspect what's going on in this movie, you still want to wait it out and see. Yeah. And everybody was interested to see what was going on. But of course, he had to open his mouth and say, well, I think this is happening. And I think this. And we're like, nobody asked you. But otherwise, Dead End's a great movie, everybody. Go see it. You know, I had to tell those stories. So what else you got?
That's it. For me.
That's it.
We named a lot. I mean,
all right. Well, that's a lot. And
that's a lot. I enjoy all of them.
Yeah,
honest,
I just again, I would say, folks, if you're interested in Christmas, Bloody Christmas, just skip the first half. Because the rest is fun. Oh my God, it was fun. But no, so otherwise than that, everybody, you can't see it from here, but I know I'll have these ready also for when you want to do a ton of gialli.
Yeah.
Because I got plenty. Oh, because yeah, definitely a giallo, even though it has kind of supernatural element. This is basically a giallo. I love Eyes of Laura Mars. John Carpenter wrote it. And I love the soundtrack. There's disco in it. But otherwise, I definitely want to recommend something to people. This is a book called Hawk Mountain, about a guy and his son and an old childhood bully kind of turns up and kind of, I don't want to say turns things upside down, but I will let you see what happens. But Hawk Mountain, this is written by Connor Habib. There he is. He lives in Ireland now, apparently. But get this, Connor Habib is a big-time porn star. Yeah. He's in a lot of the recent Gage film series, the Gage sex files and stuff like that. But yeah, Connor Habib, he hasn't really done porn lately, but I guess he wouldn't say no. I think.
He's too busy writing.
Well, yeah, but he's like I say, he's a good porn actor. What can I say? But also, what's interesting about this book, besides the fact that it's gotten a lot of rave reviews, one of whom here's the quote, Connor Habib's debut novel is a bleak, dark adrenaline rush, says Clive Barker.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I don't know if it's in paperback. This hardback was Funny, is there a price? Oh, $26.95 for, I'm sure you can get it cheaper. Okay. An English teacher is gaslit by his charismatic high school bully in this tense story of deception, manipulation, and murder. So it's not like supernatural horror or anything. It's more psychological. Yeah. But after I read this, I had so much more admiration for Connor, because for you to come up with this in your mind is pretty, wow. I mean, it's either you're going to think this guy has some things going on, or he's just brilliant. And he's smart because he's written essays and stuff. He has apparently has a blog. He's very smart, educated, and just happened to love doing porn. But yeah, Connor Habib, there he is.
Nothing wrong with
that. No, I mean, he's somebody to be admired, because not only did he just have fun doing porn, he can write, written essays and articles, and this is his first novel. I don't think I have to look. I didn't check to see if he's written anything else. I'd better look, because I'll buy it. But Hawk Mountain, it's very disturbing. But that's why it's so good. And I imagine if they made this into a movie, they'd have to really have someone knew what they were doing to make this work. But yeah, good old Connor Habib, Hawk Mountain, can't recommend it enough. And then I guess, because we can do the Gialli another time, because I know you guys probably want to have a life today for the rest of the day.
Yeah, we're running a little, but yeah, next week we'll get into some.
But I do want an appeal to filmmakers out there, or whoever the boutique labels are, whoever can get the rights, or Bill Lustig, Blue Underground. You guys released this on DVD, nothing else since, and it's criminal. You've got to release this on Blu-ray. The movie Starstruck, an Australian musical. And this is the soundtrack, of course. But it's got so much amazing music in it. The story is a lot of fun. So filmmakers, Starstruck, please, or Bill Lustig, why haven't you put this out on Blu-ray yet? It's just an old DVD. Yeah. The other one I want to say, because we were talking about Jeff Lynne, I have to say I've been listening to this again a lot lately. Electric Light Orchestra's Out of the Blue. This is like ELO in their top form. Those of you who know the song Mr. Blue Sky, it's off of this album. It's a double album. And otherwise, my all-time... Now, ELO is like top rock band along with 70s Alan Parsons Project. I can't... But my favorite group, dear to my heart, and this was their third album, I believe. I picked this cover because it's a really nifty shot of building in Toronto. Martha and the Muffins. This is the Ice Age. It's produced by Daniel Lanois, who's worked with Peter Gabriel. Daniel Lanois was part of the band for a while. But this is the Ice Age by Martha and the Muffins. Look up their song Women Around the World at Work, or even Swimming. If their tracks are on YouTube, and you'll see what I mean. You'll want to get this album. And otherwise, something people didn't realize much back in the late 70s, early 80s, Epic Records put out a series of 10-inch records on the New Disc label. And one of them is, there are like 4 songs on each one. The Continentals, Fizz Pop Modern Rock, and not the German band with Claudia Brücken propaganda, but propaganda from England, I guess. And this is Calling on Moscow is the name of and there's 4 songs on this. These are on eBay. These are on Discogs. And if you look on Discogs under New Disc, NUDISK, you'll see there was a shit ton of releases on that, including The Clash and Cheap Trick. So there you go. That's stuff for you to go out and spend money on. And
Always a quality suggestion, recommendation.
Quality suggestions. And yeah, so the holiday stuff, that was great. So people, especially Banana Splits movie and Willy's Wonderland, if you haven't, you should. And
which one's the better one? Willy's.
There's while there's a theme, they're totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, there's both animatronics, they're both chasing people in an enclosed area, but Banana Splits takes place in a TV studio, and Willy's Wonderland takes place in a restaurant, closed up restaurant. So
different.
It's hard to say which one is better. It really is hard to say because they're really different. But man, I mean, I'm partial to Banana Splits because I was a fan of the show when I was a kid. So, and then Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage. So
there's always that, yeah.
And I will say too, if you haven't seen The Surfer, have you guys watched The Surfer yet?
No.
That one is a mind fuck. It's very psychological. It's very, very strange. And but if you like that, yeah.
He's doing a lot of those lately.
Well, I like Nicolas Cage. Some say, well, because he was in Academy Award winning movies and all this and stuff, but you know what? Actors can do what the fuck they want.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they just because they're like some directors, like some say Barry Levinson, after he did all these really amazing big movies, then he did Toys. I love Toys, but it's just that you can't pigeonhole an actor or a filmmaker saying, well, now look at him, he's doing this trash.
No. He wants to do, right?
He do what he wants to do, like Christopher Walken. Remember, for a while, Christopher Walken was in a movie every month. And he just said he likes working. He just wants to work. Even if he chooses a movie that was,
he also said he played Buzz Boney in every role. So,
yeah, basically. But Nicolas Cage, like for instance, I'm not a big fan of Wild at Heart. I think that was one of the couple David Lynch movies I didn't really like that much. But, it was a showcase for him to shine.
Right.
And, I mean, if you saw Pig or the movie Joe, you can see how serious he can be and how emotional he can be. Now, the one with Selma Blair, Mom and Dad, that was a blast. About where all the parents wound up catching this virus that caused them to, try to kill their kids. That was amazing. So, but yeah, Nicolas Cage, got to stick with him. Banana Splits. I love Banana Splits. So why not both? As that kid says. Why not both? Otherwise, God, I need to try to get Mike Caravella back on. I'm going to have to message him and we still need to get Joe Bandone back on because he had to cancel. But any of the other filmmakers, like we told them, if they just have an update or something they want to say, they should tell them to come on. Anything can happen. But other than that, I guess I'm gonna fix lunch, have a nap. Because I remember I said I just woke up, but I'm lucky if I got 3 hours sleep this morning. So
take a nap. Take a nap and relax.
And hey, everybody out there, I know a lot of people are watching this later. Thanks for tuning in. And hope we educated you on a few things. Wink, wink. Everybody's going to run out and bike. Oh, you know what? I don't know if we would have, if YouTube would have blocked you from that. Thank you, Ward. But have you guys seen, before we go, remember the show Mr. Show with Bravo? Remember the little bit called Cockring Warehouse?
With Bob and David.
Cockring Warehouse. Cock rings. You got a warehouse full of them. That, I see. I don't know if they would have allowed you to play that on here.
Yeah. Well,
because, not
we'll
because of the content, but because of the rights. But everyone, go on YouTube and look up Mr. Show Cockring Warehouse. And it's a delight. And that's what got me, because those two guys who are apparently straight.
Ward already is searching it right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he is. But the fact that they knew about cock rings and had this whole funny cock ring under the tree this year. It may be on top of the tree. Look on top of the tree too. But I will, in all sincerity, say the one I showed you from My Hardware, the horseshoe ring with the clip, those are actually safer for you. If you don't mind and you don't lose the parts or break it, those are safer for you than the others. This one's fine, but you got to be careful, with the tightness, because like I said, they can do things over time, over years of use, and too much tightness can cause a little damage.
You don't want that.
Just a fair warning to people out there, if you're going to suddenly become kinkier and dive into this realm, and you can say, well, Todd told me about this. Anyway, so no, oh God, that was a blast. And I had so much fun. And thanks for people who tune in, and for everyone who chimed in and had something to say. Thank you for sticking with us. And happy holidays, or as I say, Jello Noel, Feliz Nabisco, happy Hollandaise. And this is not being un-PC. I have several Jewish friends who expect a card from me each year that says Happy Chunky Tuna. What I did was, for a friend in Texas, I tried to write, because Hanukkah is spelled different ways. And I was trying to spell it, and I would cross that one out, and I'd try to write another, and I'd cross that one out. So I did like 5 different possible spellings, and then at the bottom I just put Happy Chunky Tuna. And he goes, I expect that every year.
It's a lot easier for everybody.
So other people out there, don't be mad at me for saying Happy Chunky Tuna, but my friends like it, and so I guess it's okay. But all right, so I hope everybody has a decent, if you celebrate Christmas, whatever you do, hope it's fun, eat lots of food, and we will see you before the end of the year. Yes, because there's the 28th. Yeah, next week. Same time, same channel, unless something happens. So as you guys may have realized, we were not on for 2 weeks because people keep getting ill or something. And it happens. But if you don't see us on when we're supposed to be, check again next week. Or write to one of us, because it didn't just stop. Something, life happens.
There's always a reason.
All right. Well, thanks, Chris.
Kim Jong-un came to Chris's house and was like,
right. Don't say. We're not supposed to talk about that.
Oh my God. But, I just lost greetings. You just took some brain cells there. But yeah, season's greetings. And happy holidays to everyone. And see y'all next week. So this is Todd Quality Jaeger and Chris and
Captain Cartoon.
Thank you for joining in on the Todd Jaeger experience. It's always a blast. And thank you. And I guess we're signing off.